Okay. Looks like the audio's good. I think everything's showing up good here. Let me check on the YouTube side just to be safe, as I'd like to be. It looks like it's live. I'm going to assume that it'll cut over in just a second here. So yeah, hey everybody. We're at it again with another Creator Spotlight this week. This time we've got some of the devs from the Snoot Encore project. So if you guys want to go ahead, you can introduce yourself.
Well, yeah. Hello. You could just call me Alex. I'm the lead of this bitch, you could say. Also the audio guy and sometimes graphic design. It depends.
Mm-hmm.
My name is Cass. I do a little bit of everything, but I'm mostly the director of voice acting and one of the writers for the mod.
Good shit, good shit. And then of course we obviously have Jake here as like my little
Hello,
backup.
everybody. How are we all doing in chat today? Fuck!
Here we go.
Off to a rollicking start.
Just
Oh, boy.
relying on
Yeah.
instinct, aren't you?
Yeah, bro, I'm on autopilot for this one.
Yeah, so in order to be accommodating with this one, we're on a little bit of a different time schedule, but that's all good because it's worth it. It's worth it.
Yeah, I'm so sorry for being European. It just so happened.
It's fine.
You
We've got a
can't help it,
couple.
man.
We've got a couple
Yeah, I know.
Europeans in like the fucking community, and they hate my guts, and they're like, "Can you stream at like a regular time?" And I'm like, "Dude, I'm on like the fucking wacky hours, even where I am. All right, like this is just how it is." But yeah, let's go ahead and start this interview off properly. How did you guys get into the Snoot and Wani fandom?
Oh boy. Guess I should start. Well, because I'm an idiot that sometimes likes to chill and play some cozy games, I'm a fan of games like Oxenfree, and I liked Night in the Woods in the past, Fall of Porcupine, and all that stuff. And I noticed like GVH was coming out soon, and I was like, oh, cool game, I guess. Let me check it out. Like it didn't come out yet, and I was just researching it, and then I see like this Snoop game thing. I was like, what the fuck is that?
Mhm.
And apparently it's like a parody made by 4chaners, and I was like, cool. Maybe I'm gonna find something interesting. And I decided to play it first because I thought it's gonna be like a shit post, and I'm gonna be like, haha, I finished the shit post game. Now let's go to the game proper. The other way around happened. I finished the shit post game, air quotes, and I was like, damn. Now I got feels for Terry Girls, and I was like, okay, this is cool. And I didn't even play GVH after that. That was enough for me to get into the fandom, so to say.
Yeah, that was a good call. I did a fucking GVH stream, and I could tell you by the end I was seething. So
I bet. No, I don't want to ruin my mood as well, so I
yeah,
decided to keep it as it is.
yeah.
My side of things, I had been on 4chan long enough to have remembered when Katawa Shoujo came out,
Mm-hmm.
approximately 2011, 2012.
Le classique.
So, browsing trash, I noticed there was a sticky thread, and I had no idea what the fuck was going on with it. Looking into it, approximately 2 months into the sticky, I actually explored Snoot for the first time. I played it as expecting a joke, but hey, the first one I played was all right. It was one of those things that just caught me completely off guard and at the right time. Like, I didn't expect to become as attached to it as I did, but I found a very decent fledgling community. And once the thread went down, the discords broke out, and I made myself known there. And it's been history for the last 3 years now.
Damn. I'm like a new age fan. I waddled in here when fucking Wani came out, so I'm I'm still trying to figure everything out. Yeah, for fucking
Yes,
real.
I know I'm old.
Oh, trust me, I'm old too, motherfucker. I had a birthday what fucking 5 days 5 days ago. I hit 26, so I'm getting up there in age.
No, you're
You
not though.
baby.
Yeah.
No, I mean compared to some of the motherfuckers that I hang out with, they'll be like, "I just hit 20." I'm like, Jesus Christ. They'll say something that reminds me, like, "Oh, hey, you remember this like over a decade ago?" I'm like, "Yeah, I remember that perfectly, actually." Oh boy.
Every time someone says Riz to me, I lose a little bit of my soul.
Oh, you must
Oh,
hate
boy.
hanging out with
Don't
fucking
even
Lanny, huh?
start.
I've got to the point now where Gen Alpha slang doesn't even bother me anymore. I have to rationalize it. And it says something very potent about the younger generation when all of their slang and their entire upbringing is so inundated in irony that they have to base almost everything they say off of, are you being serious? Are you being sincere?
Oh my
For
god.
real? On God? No cap?
Yeah.
You gotta
yeah.
recheck that shit.
It hurts.
Uh,
It hurts in a way I can't understand.
what the Sigma?
Oh,
Uh,
we
come
get
on.
we get blasted with that in the fucking community all the time. We got like a little guy who will just be belting that shit off.
oh
So
god.
we've kind of grown a little bit of tolerance to it at the very least.
I knew that I got old when after hearing all those magical words spoken by Zoomers, I had to go to Urban Dictionary just to understand what the fuck they're saying. So
Yep.
Yeah.
I think I had to do something similar when I started seeing gat. I was like, what the fuck is gat? I was just seeing it out of context,
Same.
and I'm like, what? But
Same.
oh, it's that. All right,
All right,
cool.
the chat's getting stupid. Let's get back on topic.
Okay, let's try.
The chat doesn't need us to help them get stupid. They're gonna get stupid on their own. You know that.
Yeah, but we don't need to encourage them.
All right, fine. Well, all right. So that gives us a little bit of context to how long y'all have been around. What about some of your backgrounds for like creative ventures and whatnot? Like, when did you start kind of leaning into more of that?
Oh boy. I personally, my creative background started when I started doing graphic design since I was 17. It was a long time, and it's kind of my job at the moment. So after that, I decided to do art and all that stuff like writing. But when I got in graphic design, it's kind of expanded into all those other fields. Like first, I started doing static shit. After that, I started doing motion graphic design. After that, I went into audio. Audio, I really liked audio, so that's how I became audio engineer, you could say. Yeah, for this project and for other stuff that I worked. Like I worked on TV. I did some advertisements for big brands and all that. But I still liked like the small guy, so to say. And I really enjoy getting into niche communities and helping out and creating something good and great for them. Like, and I decided to try it out here as well. Like the funny thing is, when I joined the Snoot community, first thing I want to do is do a Russian translation. But apparently there's like already like 3 teams working on that. I was like, oh well, okay, let's not dwell into it. And it was just so happened that I decided to do a dub mod, and it just spiraled out of control. Now we're here. So
Fair enough.
I guess it started young for me. I wasn't really a theater kid, but I was pushed to do theater from my high school years. From there, that kind of spiraled into I was always a creative writer. Um, through the early part of my career before college, and then during college, I was able to focus more on that, where a lot of my actual work stemmed from technical writing and grant writing. So I spent a lot of time writing. Um, reading a fair amount, but then a real breakout came around 2013 and 2016, where I met individuals who were able to put me in contact with certain acting ventures out in Hollywood. So I have done a little bit of theater work in with Shakespeare works in London at the Globe. I've taken some courses, and I have appeared as an extra and at certain points an advisor for certain acting and TV shows. Thank you, CBS. Thank you, Rob Bowman.
Oh shit.
From there, it mostly just became taking what I knew about the two of them, putting them into something that I can do. And voice acting with my hectic work and life schedule was the easiest way for me to do that. So, futzing around with friends. I remember the early days where I was in troops that were doing voice acting things, but it would be like, oh, we're going to play Monster Prom and we're going to voice the characters and take turns. And boy, howdy, if you've never heard me voice a woman, it is a harrowing experience.
I have some stuff relating to that, but that's completely entirely different.
Oh yeah, no, you brought it up earlier. You may as well bring it up now. You want to talk about the Fang voice live on air?
I'll talk about it after Cass is done with their part. I don't want to cut into that.
So it really just started as various outlets of passion that have turned into things that I just do to decompress when I'm not working. And now you can talk about the Fang voice. You had my interest. You have my
yeah. It's got to come out at some point. So obviously, I'm an e-clown. I stream for the entertainment of others. When I was playing both Wani and Snoot, I was sitting there doing fun voices. And people like the Fang voice that I do. I don't get it, but apparently they do. So much so that fuck, if Blue is here, he could tell me which fucking I want to say it was during Broken Wings when I was reading that fanfic. Man, early on, like, one of the viewers decided to fucking throw a comment into the chat saying, "I edge to your Fang voice," which basically has changed the trajectory of this community. There's I'm not sure if you guys saw it when you joined the Discord, but there is Rule 6, which explicitly says do not edge to the streamer's voice because of that individual.
Fantastic. I love it.
So that's
I also want a rule on my name on the Discord server. I think that's a good legacy.
That person's still around, so
Yeah.
their legacy has been firmly cemented. Yes.
I haven't seen him in a little bit, actually. I wonder how they're doing.
Okay.
I hope he's.
We want to make sure he's doing okay. The streamer should put on the Fang voice.
I don't know about that one.
Like a wildlife call.
I can't just bust that out. Maybe later, man. Maybe.
No.
What do you mean, no?
No.
They're asking for it.
I don't care. It's Lassiter asking for it.
Well, yeah, Lassiter's always gonna ask for it. You know how he fucking feels about Fang.
The voice acting director of Encore is asking for it.
Yeah, am I supposed to say no to that?
You're on your own now, buddy.
Oh, so now you fucking hands off, gonna let me to the wolves?
Yep, taking the training wheels off. There you
Oh
go.
my!
You
We're
were
the wolves now, Cass.
Oh, no, not just you guys. Like, there's rogue edgers out there. I don't fucking.
Rogue edges.
I'm fucking afraid of them.
What a time to be alive.
Oh my god. We'll do it later.
Yeah, well, fucking, near the end, when they open up Q&A, I'll like mute and you can keep reading and I'll fucking, I don't know, figure something out, alright?
He has to hype himself up for it.
Bro, this is a 10 a.m. thing. I woke up from like a 3-hour nap and I'm like, and they're saying, do the roar. Like, I can't do the roar right now. What the fuck? Okay, alright. Well, we've got that little bit of lore out of the way. So we've got your backgrounds. I think we're good to start rolling into some of the questions proper here. So, shake myself up real quick. Fuck. All right. So, first question we got here relates to kind of the origins of the Encore project. For this interview, I went through and was looking at all of like the announcements and using that as a way to help me kind of structure my thought process. So the best way to start is with the initial announcement that I saw. So from what I had seen, Snoot Game Encore is the product of having Snoot Game dubbed and the Snoot Game remastered merging together. Could you maybe step into a little bit of how the history of those two projects coming to know one another and forming into one happened?
Can provide you for the Snoot Game dub, but not remastered proper. I have some lore from it, but the guy that was doing remaster, our main artist at the moment, I really don't know why he started that project. But anyways, the Snoot Game dub started me and another dude called Yeezy just shooting shit in the Snoot Club server about doing the dub. And it was the perfect timing because I recently finished the game itself, like this new game, and was so fucking hyped and inspired that my enthusiasm pants were able to roll me through the hard times. So for organizing everything, creating the team and all that. Like it was just a thread in the Snoot Club, the dub shit. But apparently a lot of people want to try doing it. And it went quite well. I was surprised how many people went for auditions. Like, obviously, the first problem that it had was no bitches, but it's fine. Like, we were just mainly playing around with the game, and it came out quite well for the start. But then, after organizing a proper team, we got all the voices already put in place. We found, like, voice for every character. Even women, I'm surprised as well, till this day. And we were just browsing Reddit, looking at stuff, and we saw a guy doing this new game remaster, and I was like, "Oh damn, that's pretty good." So we decided just to contact the dude and ask if he wanted to collab, because at that point we already like were redoing some stuff. Like we decided to redo the music, and the to add voice lines. That was our proper like scope. But then after that dude decided to join our team, we decided to do everything, just to make a full-on remaster of the game. And it's still going on, as you can see, doing quite well.
Yeah, from what I can tell, like you guys are making constant updates and whatnot, and it looks like it's progressing along pretty nicely.
At least we're trying, yes.
Yeah.
Upward and word.
I can understand how sometimes that falls a little. It gets a little harder to make sure you're keeping up that contact, but from what I can tell, you guys are doing just fine on that front.
Thank you.
And at least from my perspective, I think I can speak for most people in our little community when I can say that each of us are very, very excited for your work.
Absolutely.
Oh, thanks.
Yes.
So, given that you had two teams essentially kind of merged together, how many people are like working on this project right now?
At the moment, 30 plus, around
close.
stuff like this.
I was taking a kind of a loose count, and right now it's like 50.
50?
Wow.
Yeah.
Shit.
You can scroll through the Discord, you can see everybody, and then it's like you count the roles, but then you have the offlines.
Oh yeah, fair. But I wouldn't. Okay, let's say 40 something. I don't think it's 50, but yeah, we got enough people. Most of them are voice actors, so keep in mind that like
Fair enough.
we have coders, like music guys, like graphics guy, and all that. But most of them, everybody there is a voice actor mostly.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean,
Imagine we got all those people on.
Oh boy.
All at once.
No, extra no. I have a hard enough time getting them to come in and do their job sometimes. I don't think they're all going to sit down and be able to handle this environment.
Yeah, plus, Jake, you know damn well that would just devolve into make them do the funny voice, make them do the funny voice. Everybody would be chanting in chat, and I'd have to kind of act like they don't exist while I try and talk. You know what I mean?
I know. That's why I suggested it.
You are a fucking chaos incarnate sometimes. You know that?
Yeah, that's why I'm here, though.
Yeah, fucking true.
That's why you pay him under minimum wage.
Yep.
Pay him?
Pays me in Monster.
That's actually good.
I pay him in letting people know that he has commissions.
Don't tell them about that.
What do you?
Uh-oh.
So I have to talk about the Fang voice, but you don't have to talk
No.
about Crimson begets Crimson.
No, not the Snoot Encore. We can't talk about that.
You can talk about whatever you like. Everybody's got skeletons in the closet.
It's more than skeletons. It's piles of bloody viscera.
Either you're doing it
boy.
or I'm doing it. All right.
Oh, fuck.
Wow.
I'd rather you do it so I can just sit in the corner and pretend
Sure,
it's not
man.
happening.
Sure. So, fucking, what was the origin of it? You like just offhandedly said, "I'll kill Mia," like a snuff fic for Mia for like what, $200?
Yeah, it was a fucking joke, bro. I was just like, yeah, I'll kill Mia for $200.
And
then
then-
somebody was like, okay.
Slid in his DM, said, "Here's $200. Kill that bitch."
What
Essentially.
was I supposed to do? Say no? It's $200.
No, you know what you should have done? You should have do an AI do the story and just send them that or something like this.
No, I can't. My integrity as a writer would not allow that.
He would be clutching his
Oh.
head in the corner. He would not be.
Your integrity as a writer wouldn't allow it, but your integrity as a moral human being wouldn't stop you from murdering someone? Curious.
It's Mia.
You can't even start with "It's Mia." Okay, so get this. Last what was it? Last Creator
you're
Spotlight with
racist.
Roach.
Okay.
Oh
no.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, I bet you did, motherfucker. On the spotlight, he just this motherfucker busts open his whiskey and he starts getting funny. And near the end of the spotlight, he's like, "Fuck that bitch Stella. I'll fucking kill her for 100." And I go, "What are you talking about?" And then one of our little silly friends immediately sends him $100, locking that in. And the rest of that stream is just fucking destroyed because we're all sitting there fucking like, "What did you do? Why did you do that?" And we're yelling and we're screaming. And then afterwards, he realizes that he slapped the guy who did it, Lanny. He realizes that he slapped such a huge target on his back that he's like, "Hey, can I change that request? Can we not kill Stella?"
Yeah, it's not Stella. It's not Stella Destruction anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing. Yeah, I see by the progress of the stream, I'll need another gin and tonic. So, yeah.
Yeah, I
You
don't
can
blame
go
you,
make
bud.
one. I can hold down the fort in the meantime.
Yeah, I don't blame you, bud.
No, I already got everything. Like I said, my PC is portable, so I just already did it while you were rambling about killing Mia.
Yeah, ready to
So-
rock and roll. That's good. That's good.
I regret everything.
You say that, but I know for a fucking fact you're gonna do it again.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm not a killer, motherfuckers. When they say, "Oh, $20 is $20," no, here's 500.
oh, he had such a good quote too. That's what was it? That's comfort of my gore character. You like flub that whole thing.
Yeah, I was really drunk.
Fucking co-host, man. I guess to rein it back in on what we were discussing relating the project. Jake, do you remember how many people Roach had on his team? It was like 12 to 15, right?
It was a much smaller number, yeah.
Yeah, so that just hearing like 50 plus, 40 plus, that is a lot of people.
Again, to caveat that, about half of them are voice actors.
Right.
So if you were to take them out of the equation, you would probably have only 25 people who are actually working. And that's a give or a take. I'm not looking at the actual number right now.
Still a substantial amount. How does it kind of go coordinating all that?
Okay, I think I'll need an entire bottle for this, but fun. I don't know.
There's a
Yeah.
certain level of organizational skills necessary to do so, because much like the community itself, and the community being where we drew most of our talent from, we operate on a lot of different time zones. We have several different teams and many people who are laser focused on a specific thing that is their responsibility.
Yeah, so basically, jokes aside, we are separated in different departments, and every department has their own director that gives them tasks. We coordinate with directors to see how progress is going, and depending where other people need it, sometimes I help to coordinate stuff, sometimes other directors push in, but basically every director has their own department. Music, graphics, coding, VA, and all that. So, and we just drop our stuff, and after that we just combine it all in the build.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. When you start hitting like those numbers of people, you definitely need to make sure that there's kind of like a distinction between teams, so that way it's easier to actually coordinate all that. At like smaller levels, of course, you can just kind of wing it, but when there's that many people, there does need to be a more organizational hierarchy to it.
Yeah, and we try not to, how should I put it, not to create discord between teams when it comes to personal opinions. So we try to put everybody like in line when it comes to their own tasks and all that. So people will be only focused on that specific task, so there wouldn't be like delays and just general bitching regarding the scope of a project. So thank God we're pretty united on the scope as a whole team. But again, organization is not, it's harder than I thought it's going to be, but I got into it, so it's fine now.
Gotcha. I guess that's a good segue into one of the other questions that we had listed down here, and that was the mention of like alt routes. I want to say this was during the initial announcement, and was rolled back in, I believe, either the one after the announcement after that, or the one after that one.
One after, yeah.
Right. So how did that kind of like conversation go, figuring out that okay, this is probably out of scope of what we're trying to achieve here?
Okay, so
All right. Let me tackle this.
Okay,
one.
dude.
It was my brainchild. I brought life to it. I'll put it down.
All right.
Oh, sad.
Originally, our intent was not just to remaster the game as it stood. We wanted to have alternate routes and to basically incorporate a lot of the core of, hey, Katawa Shoujo had a different way of presenting it where your choices dictate who you end up with, and then you play that up from there, which kind of fit in with the narrative of Anon kind of wanting to get through the first week of school and things changing, this, that, the other thing. I had prototyped, I believe, I want to say most of the original chapter rewrite that would have allowed that to happen. But once we got to the point where we were trying to narrow down the scope, because we recognized being community driven rather than professionally driven group, the footprint that we could support as far as the scope of the project really necessitated that we need to figure out what we want to do. And the burden that would have been placed on some of the smaller teams to do so would have made it that to deliver this product, we'd be working for years. So ultimately the decision was made that rather than focusing on lofty ambitions with a small footprint, we would narrow our vision to what specifically we wanted to get done. And that settled on we're going to stick with the original version of the remaster and the original version of the dub. And we can compromise a little bit by doing some of the encore. We're going to be adding things to the game that were missing from the original, with hindsight being 2020 for a GVH, but GVH didn't really do what GVH set out to do. So we found a happy medium for the size of the team we have. And if ever there is a chance or opportunity, I have some of the work, and maybe we could integrate. I know that there's a Mia mod out there. I know there's a Rosa mod that's being written from the Garden of Rosa fanfiction. All it would take is a little bit of retooling, and you could probably realize the blueprint I had put out. But for the time being, that's not what this project is about.
Yeah, I mean, that's completely fair too. Like, I know when I had initially heard that, I was like, whoa, that sounds like a lot of work.
Yeah, you know, it would be quite a bit of work, but there's nothing in human history that enough amphetamines and caffeine have been able to handle.
Oh,
Yeah, true.
speaking my language.
Sadly, I don't have access to amphetamines, but I have enough energy drinks in my supply as well. So,
See, I'm a little too married to the idea of getting good sleep, so I don't think I could just juice myself up.
I sleep sometimes, but it's for
My
the
record
week,
is 56 hours straight.
Jesus
Nice.
fucking Christ.
Mine is only 24, but
Mine's somewhere around 50.
Yeah.
oh, also a big boy. Cool.
Fucking, I think like 24 is probably my max, and I think I ended up like falling asleep in a closet by the end of that.
I have a
Damn.
mental illness.
You also
Aren't
just
we
like get a
all-
bunch of monsters, bro.
That just compounds the issue, but sometimes the funny pills don't work.
Last time I took my pills, my wife disappeared, and I don't know how to feel about it.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Okay. Continuing on with some of the stuff we got here. We can touch a little bit on the game's soundtrack. I know in one of the announcements, it was kind of mentioned that the original soundtrack was compromised, and I have a little bit of an idea of what all that is, but could you maybe go into a little bit of detail about that?
Well, we're referring to the Cayman announcement regarding their soundtrack and their thing that happened where their composer apparently was a fraud and were just resampling royalty-free music.
Mm-hmm.
And because of that, we decided to create our own soundtrack for a game, fully original. So that's how it went, basically.
Okay.
After we found out about that news.
Yeah, and then that makes sense. Could you give us a little bit of insight as to how it kind of goes? Like, since you are redesigning basically the entire soundtrack, how are you going into the idea of? Are you taking anything from the original and kind of like stepping off of that, or are you just going completely new, just not even referencing it?
So no, we're keeping some of our original songs. We're mostly remixing existing stuff to put it, so to say, a new coat of paint on it. But also we're doing some original soundtracks, especially some sound like music for characters, because we decided to give every character their own theme. So I don't know if you played or didn't play, probably not, but there was a dub mode demo where we managed to release one track, and it was a Trish original theme song. So also we released to the public some of the songs that we're cooking right now, because on our YouTube channel, on Twitter as well, like we have we have Reed's theme and Trish's theme, and just a general chill soundtrack where Nacer is also present, so you can listen to those. Those are totally original. Yeah, so, but remixes, there's also, because some of the songs in the original game are quite iconic and pretty good, so we decided not to touch those. But songs that were lacking, we decided to redo them.
Got it. That makes sense. Let's see here. Out of all of the ones that you've put on the Encore's YouTube channel, which one would you say is probably a good representation of the quality of these new soundtracks? Because I can pull it up real quick and throw it onto the fucking blank TV that I've got in this room.
The thing is, our songs are made by different artists, and I don't leave anybody
Okay,
out.
that's fair.
So
In
but
that case, I
you
can
could-
do like a little snippet of each one then.
Yeah, you could. We have only 3 at the moment, I think, on our YouTube channel. So just do a snippet of them all if you.
Yeah.
We're not long. We're like 2 minutes each. So
Yeah.
we have Volcadia Groove, Burnout Observation, and Distortion the Passion. So
Yeah.
those are the ones.
I'm sure anybody that's watching my shit has already listened to these before, but you know, for the sake of those who might be uninitiated, it's a good way to give them an idea of what's going on here.
I can't hear a fucking thing.
But, yeah. He's playing it for the stream's sake, so you'd have to tune into the stream, and then you'd be hearing yourself, and then it would be wicked bad.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a mess. Unfortunately, I can't get it over my own mic. Otherwise, that'd be beautiful.
I mean,
But
you could always stream on Discord, but
okay.
not be.
Okay.
No, you don't have to. You don't have to. You don't have
You,
to.
It's fine.
you're gonna walk over here, tell me that, and then walk it back right immediately after?
I'm not walking it back. It was just. You know what? I'm not even gonna.
Yeah,
Mom and Dad are fighting again.
it
Oh
happens
damn!
much
I'll
too
go
often.
fetch the dog.
I'm getting the whiskey.
I knew this was gonna happen. I'm telling the stream is gonna be retarded.
This motherfucker.
Okay.
It's 10 a.m. I couldn't drink. I'm getting the whiskey 30 minutes in.
I will actually get the whiskey.
I fucking know you would. I fucking know you would. All I gotta do is push you enough, and then you'll be like, I'm gonna take a sippy now.
I won't. I won't
I
let you.
didn't think this would be the soundtrack of someone's divorce, but here we are.
Oh God.
We always come crawling back to one another.
Ew.
What do you mean?
Why you say it like that?
I'm just gonna focus on the very nice music, okay?
Yeah.
Okay, and so that was a Volcadia Groove, and then we've got Burnout Observation. Also turn it up just a little bit.
So yeah, still trying to figure out this is Reed's theme.
Turn it down just a bit so that we can actually talk over it if you want.
Just made an installation.
Mhm.
If you want to like play the whole song, it's fine.
Yeah. I think we'll keep it at like a minute here, just so that way we're not sitting here just
Yeah,
listening
of
to music
course.
the whole time. And of course, if anybody wants to find these, you can find these on the Snoot Game Encore YouTube channel. Very easy to access.
Exactly.
And then Distortion in the Passion for everybody's, I was gonna say favorite trigger, but
No.
there's a diverse set of
You already
opinions on that.
Hold on to
say,
me coming out soon.
Still can't believe Roach is a trigger enjoyer.
Listen, everyone has their shortcomings. We're not ones to judge.
I just want to
Also-
say. Oh, well, no, go ahead.
No, I just wanted to joke that I already said the R word, you said the Q word. This is gonna be a fun stream.
Oh, we have no compunctions with saying the trigger word on this stream.
No, just a joke that YouTube's gonna ban us. Anyways, what you were saying?
Bro,
They would have already done that.
yeah, like I fucking. So we've got like some community night shit we do, right? And fucking recently it's been TTT, and there's been people who have been wearing the Trish skin, and I have just like screamed, "Get over here, Trigger!" The moment they do anything crazy. So if they were coming for my ass, they would have ended me a long fucking time ago. I'll tell you what.
Beautiful. I love this community.
Oh yeah, this community's fucking great. But yeah, so that's those are some little snippets from the OST, and like I'm pretty sure everybody can agree they all sound fucking great.
Baller.
Shout out to OG and Nemo. The boys that are doing this stuff.
Yeah.
They've been really fucking good. The songs that are on YouTube, at least, there are more people working on soundtrack, but yeah.
Right. I look forward to listening to all the soundtracks you guys put in there. I mean, when I know for myself at least, when it comes to soundtracks and games, um, a lot of the time I kind of have to go back and listen to them again, unless it's something that really stands out to me. Um, my brain just doesn't really register, and I think sometimes that's also like the what do you I'm trying to think of the words? It's the show of a good soundtrack when you have nothing bad to say about it. And just from those snippets alone, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna really enjoy the work you guys are doing there.
Thank you. Again, thank our like really talented artists. I'm really kind of lucky to have such a fucking great team. Like sometimes I'm really surprised what people can pull out in this project. It's fantastic.
Yeah. Actually, speaking about the art, I can actually pull that up real quick because I saw that there was the most recent announcement with some actual sprites of everybody. So let me throw that up on the screen real
Yeah.
quick. So this was like the most recent announcement. I want to say it was like what 16 hours ago you guys dropped this roundabouts.
Somewhat, yeah.
Yeah, so this is some new stuff. At least for me because I was busy all night, so I didn't even get to catch this until like right before the interview. I was like, oh shit! All right, cool stuff here. And so this is just a little show for anybody who hasn't seen some of the nice art that's going to be in the game. Obviously, you could
Yep,
have
like-
seen it during some of the previous announcements, but here you go with all of them up next to each other. Sorry to cut you off.
It's fine. Yeah, everything like compiled with all the backgrounds that our background artist for Zen was doing. Rafi Yoshi is the UI and sprite artist that's been doing it. The guy that started Snoot Game Remastered, by the way. He was the only person on that project.
Mm.
So, and we decided to join forces. Now he's cooking this beautiful stuff for us. So that's nice.
Yeah, if there's one thing I know about this fucking community, it's that there's a lot of fucking chefs out there. They can really cook some
Exactly.
shit up.
One thing I really, really, really love about this is the backgrounds. Your background artist is fucking cooking.
Oh,
Yep,
yeah.
he's a
Shout out
really
Zen.
fucking cool dude. Shout out to Zen. Yeah, love that dude.
Absolutely, absolutely. Give me just one second, because I want to leave this up on screen, but I gotta pull these questions over to my other monitor real quick. All right, there we go, and then let me full screen this just so that way it's good. Okay, cool. So we touched on the music a little bit. One thing that I wanted to kind of know, and this is a little bit more of like the management side of things. You guys had opened and I've never had to pronounce it, so I'm hoping I'm going to pronounce it
Ko-fi.
right. Yeah, I was going to say coffee, so there we go. A Ko-fi, where people can donate to the project and everything, and you guys will help use that with the development and everything. And there was one where you were talking about the hardware upgrades for some of the team. And I was just kind of curious, how did you guys go about figuring out like how much you needed to funnel into each upgrade, and like how you went about picking what was bought? Because I think there was a receipt at the end of that announcement with a Blue Yeti. I want to say it was. That
Oh
got
yeah,
bought.
we're gonna post more reviews, by the way, for people that were wondering. But okay, you want to do it, Cass?
Yeah. So,
All right.
admittedly, a majority of the money that has been spent on the VA department so far,
Mhm.
because as far as recording and audio mastery goes, we don't have the luxury of being geographically co-located, so we're not all operating on the same hardware. With some people who have been doing things like this and have a significant enough setup, that's something that can be mitigated in mastering. However, as many of the people who are part of this are, again, sourced from the community and don't really have as much experience with any of this, they aren't utilizing hardware that is necessarily to the quality that we want to release. So we have basically made a standardized set of equipment that people who don't have access to very good recording equipment can utilize. We wanted to make a decent compromise between the price that we're willing to pay for an actor and the quality that we get out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And approximately, if we had someone who had absolutely nothing and they wanted to utilize some of these funds, I believe the price that we could get them a full setup for would be approximately $80.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just giving us more of a standardization as far as recording software and recording hardware goes. to ensure that when we eventually do get to, hey, we finished all these lines, now we need to master them, Alex here doesn't rip his hair out trying to figure out why this one has too much reverb or why this person doesn't get the same output when he uses standardized settings or things like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I know when it comes to like recording equipment, there's stuff all over the spectrum. Some things that highlight different parts of the voice better than others, and all that good stuff. So it does make sense to have kind of like a standard for that.
Tell me, buddy. Like when I started this project, I was mastering audio in fucking Premiere Pro. But after we went so far, I'm using free fucking apps just to master everything. Like one for the audio noises and all that, one for making the audio more crisp and all. Like holy shit, how many presets I'm using right now, just so everything sounds like Gucci, perfect.
Yeah. Is that because you're leveraging like the strengths of each different audio piece of audio equipment?
Mostly yes. Also, everybody, because obviously all the voices are different, I have to make different presets for every person.
Mm-hmm.
Go on your
Before
rant.
that,
I know you
was
want to. Go on your rant.
yeah, I'm doing that already. So also because depending like I'm trying to standardize the audio for everyone on the EBR 128. It's like 23 LUFS. Basically, it's the loudness of the audio. So it's going to be the same throughout the game. But apparently, even that cannot be standardized because depending on the person's voice capabilities, has different rumble, different high pitches, and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Even the program gets confused when it comes to that. And the most funny thing is, I have little problem mastering male voices. But when it comes to female voices, oh boy, all the fucking presets just go insane. I was telling that repeatedly to my team. All the audio editing software is misogynistic. I'm telling you. Like every time I'm trying to use filters to cut out the noises and all that, it's gonna cut out the high pitches. Like when they scream or do a high pitched voice, it hears like that as noise. Like what? And I need to do some specific shit for it to not cut out and to make it more bassy, so it sounds on the same level as male voice and all that. Yeah, I'm having a field trip every time I'm mastering the lines, as you can probably already figure.
Yeah, just from how you're talking about it, I could tell that is a fucking close to a nightmare of a process as one can get, I would assume, for audio.
I've had
Yeah.
this man call me at 10 o'clock at night crying, trying to figure out, like, why is this not working?
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
Okay.
I know that feeling. Like, yeah, all right. So when it comes to audio stuff for me, obviously I've only ever worked with just me, and even then I get fucking lost with how to like maximize all the stuff that my mic's doing. So here, like, I can only imagine how much of a fucking pain in the ass that must be for a bunch of other people that you're trying to bring in line with one another. I mean, shit, when I'm doing like these fucking interviews, I'll like look at the audio as we're doing it and be like, I think it's good. Maybe I need to turn you up just like a little bit. Oh, okay, that's fine. But that's just like making sure people can be heard. That's not anything else relating to like the whole audio process. So
you're working with raw audio right here. It's like coming in and going out at the same time. Like think with audio that you need to put somewhere. That's kind of been different. But again, also I can help you out if you need some audio like fixes and all that. It's not a biggie. I already like. Funny thing, like I already helped a lot with the Russian team, Ember team, that were doing the Russian dub for the game. So I kind of jumped into that as well to give them a hand. We're using our trailers as well for their character reveals and their audio stuff. So there's that.
yeah, I might take you up on that at some point because I've been meaning to do some more audio related stuff.
No problem. We'll
with
be happy
recordings.
to.
So, but yeah, shit. That's I feel if nothing else, that's insightful to how it is to organize sort of like VAs on a team together because team wise we've only interviewed the Mimi team so far and obviously VA is not even on their radar so they couldn't give any insight relating to that side of work, so it's good to hear about all of that. But yeah, I guess we can roll into the next question here. And this one relates to the additional content that's kind of been mentioned and adding in Encore. If you guys want to give like any context as to maybe what that relates around. I don't know how much you've fully made public, so whatever you feel comfortable sharing.
I
Well,
will say
yeah.
now, if anybody's worried about, oh, they're going to change the story, they're going to change major plot beats, they're going to change this, that, the other thing, no. Majority of everything that happened in the game is staying the same. Our focus was less on changing how things actually happen, more fleshing out scenes and interactions between characters that we believe didn't get enough time to make themselves more present throughout the story.
Mhm.
To that end, there are also additions we've made. I'm going to probably say for the first time publicly, outside of the changes that we've made to encapsulate the additions to existing chapters, we have several original chapters that take place between other chapters that will be elucidating other characters and really bringing them to the forefront and giving them time to do it. And Fang is not the focus of those chapters.
Okay. Yeah, so it sounds like
Interesting.
it's completely additive. There's no, it's not changing anything. It's just adding on to what's already there and expanding
The
upon that.
the one exception I will say to that whole changing thing is that in order to make some of these things make sense, and I have a specific example of this, we had to change the general timeline of the game because if anybody's ever paid attention to how things work, Anon arrives at Volcano High on January 6th, and by mid-March or early March, everything is set for the endings to take place.
Mm-hmm.
The one thing that I will say right now that has been changed, we have an extra chapter that is taking place the day that chapter 5, the garden detention, was supposed to take place, because that day was a federal holiday. So there would be no school on that day.
All
Or
right.
Yeah,
actually, it was the chapter
this
after.
man, I joined the call, and this man but showed me a schizograph for all the timeline that's happening on Snoot game, and I was like, holy shit, dude. You went ballistic on that. Yeah.
That is
Committed.
You know what I do for a living. Why does the fact that I'm like anally autistic about these kinds of details surprise
No,
you?
the funny thing was that you actually had that schizo image of a guy pointing at a chordboard, you know, like
He's referencing the picture of Always Sunny in Philadelphia where
Right.
I forget the
Pepe
character's name, but
Sylvia.
he's Pepe Sylvia, yes.
Yep.
yeah. He already had that prepared for me, so there's that.
We got loads of federal holidays.
Yeah, we sure fucking do, don't we? Yeah, see, like that's the kind of attention to detail that just slips from my mind. Again, though, I'm not looking at this with like a fine-toothed comb, but that just that alone makes me pretty confident that it's going to be handled with care, if nothing else.
One person in the chat saying the event for the actual detention takes place on Saturday. The next chapter takes place on that Monday, which was a federal holiday. Monday, 2022, January 20th, was Martin Luther King Day, which is a federally observed holiday.
Martin Luther Snoot.
Martin Luther Snoot Day, the day that triggers got their equal. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ! Why'd you get?
Finally.
Oh boy.
Yep. So yeah, as you can see, Cass is really good at that.
Yeah.
So,
Really passionate too, from what it sounds like.
Yeah, it's badass.
I could say it's a passion of a trigger, but anyways.
Oh, hell
man.
yeah. I'm having fun.
Yeah. So to touch on the additional content just a little bit more, I know in one of the announcements, initially you guys wanted to have kind of like a toggle for that, the additional content that you're adding, but then you opted to go for, I believe, different versions for when this comes out. So a version with the additional content and a version without the additional content is kind of the impression I was getting.
I'm gonna quote one of our previous lead coders when we decided to do that.
Mm-hmm.
He said, "Awesome, please neck yourself." The thing is, apparently it's a really hard shit to implement, so we decided just to separate in different versions. So people, depending on how people want to play the game with all the additional shit, they can use the light version or the regular version.
Mm-hmm.
So
As to the specific difficulties, I can speak a little bit to this. Originally, when it was just going to be additional chapters, you could make it so that the game would have tags for additional content that would then be able to say, skip over this if this toggle isn't taken care of.
Right.
And when it's large blocks of text and things and assets that are going to be doing that, it's okay to skip them. The issue is, then we got into the details of, okay, if it's going to be individual lines, if it's going to be parts of scenes, if it's going to be characters or that were in places that they weren't originally, it was going to be a nightmare to make that and implement that while having, if you have the toggle on, it'll work. If you have the toggle off, it won't. And the thing that broke the camel's back, the straw that broke the camel's back, was the save system, because they recognized that there would be individuals who would say, I want to do this scene. They would make a save at a certain point. They would go through, and then they would be like, okay, I want to toggle it and see what they've changed. That would break the save system, because then between the two of them, you would have two separate saves operating on two separate save states with two separate calls.
Yeah.
And from there, we would have to basically double up the entire script of the game to ensure this is a clean version that has nothing additional and all the original assets of the game outside of like the art. And then there's this new version that has massively updated writing, it has new songs, it has this, that, the other thing. And at that point, we were concerned about file bloat, because we're Western game devs, sure, but we don't want to ship a product that's 200 gigabytes for a visual novel.
Fucking hell yeah. Yeah, at that point, you basically already have it split into the two versions. It's just you're bundling them together in that one. So splitting it there makes total sense. And like the reason that I wanted to touch on that is because to the average person, to someone who may not have kind of like experience with like game dev or anything relating to all of that, they might just hear like, oh, we pulled out a toggle and that's that, and they might think, oh, shouldn't that just be like a if this true, if this false? But there's a ton of things that go into something like that, as you've pointed out yourself. And I just wanted to go ahead and like kind of let maybe some people in on like the kind of difficulties that you face when working with a game, even one that you're remastering like you are, in how that can start to get a little complicated, even with something as seemingly trivial as on-off button.
That's the thing. It only seems trivial.
Exactly. Yeah.
Everybody's got coding ideas until it comes time to implement them, and then all of a sudden everybody forgets everything they know about coding.
Boy, don't I fucking know that.
I have no input on this. I don't have delusions of grandeur. That shit's like fucking Sanskrit to me.
I barely speak English as it is. Why the fuck you think I can speak Python?
Yeah.
Man, fucking coding hurts me. You know, you go through it and then you realize, oh, wait a minute. This is not going to work the way I want it to. Or you, fucking God forbid, you do something wrong with a fucking, like, one letter somewhere, and then you're completely fucked, and you have to spend 5 hours debugging that shit.
Funny story. My parents wanted me to be a coder, but when I tried to learn that, I told them, sorry, Mom, I'm not going to be a coder. I'll probably neck myself in a year if I'm going to be a coder, so I'll pursue graphic design. Thank you very much.
Sorry, Mom. I don't hate myself that much.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I can't fucking blame you. There's times where I'm sitting there looking at a fucking whole document just sweating. But
what's worse, making a stupid error somewhere or throwing a bunch of spaghetti at code and then realizing that the spaghetti works and then, oh God, I have to work with spaghetti code now?
Throwing an error somewhere. 100% for me, at least.
Yonder dev moment.
Because the thing about spaghetti, if you get something working, you can at least start detangling it and making it look better. There's a process you can walk through there. If you throw an error in somewhere and you don't know where it is, you don't know how long it's going to take you to fucking track that down and start to iron it out and figure out what you need to do to actually get it to work. Having a baseline, this is working, is so nice.
Until you forget a comma and you have to spend 3 hours searching for it.
That's what I'm saying. Having that little fucking issue is so infuriating. But
oh boy. Anyways.
Yeah, that's getting into like the fucking weeds of just programming in general. That's not specifically related to Encore. So we'll go ahead and keep rolling here. So as I said, I'd been looking through the announcements and whatnot, and the impression that I got reading through them is that the process that you guys have now is different from the process you had at the beginning, which makes sense. Obviously, there's going to be times where you figure out something isn't working, and you can you can improve upon it, or you figure out that there was something that just wasn't working, you needed to axe that and kind of move on to a different way of managing things or working on the project. Could you maybe give some like insight into how over time that type of stuff has changed?
Well, when it comes to that, there were quite oftentimes it mostly depends on department to department because there were changes implemented in the structure of departments in general. In audio mastering, in VA, how we get our art voice actors to come in, like we had different system calendars and all that. There was a lot that was changing. Like I cannot even remember all of the stuff that changed. It's usually when something doesn't really work out, we just switch to a different plan. If that plan sticks, we just go roll with it. It's just what makes progress go more smoothly. That's what we are implementing. And when we see that something is like lagging behind, we try to find out what's the issue and mitigate that.
Yeah, that tracks. That makes sense. Oh, go ahead.
As far as things on my end and from my perspective, there have been times where, because of the variable levels of experience I have from people and the various people I'm working with, I have to work with everyone in a slightly different way. So for some people, it's, hey, I don't even need to tell you what to do. Here are your lines. Go nuts. And I have a few people who are very much like that. They are professionals in that they actually do it for a living.
Right.
I have to take some of those best practices and I have to be able to apply them and kind of instruct some of the people that I'm working with for that baseline of, hey, if I give you these, will you be able to actually handle that? So, as far as best practices go, there have been times where someone got an upgrade of hardware. And hey, now we have to re-record some of the lines we did in the past because we have better audio, better quality, and we don't want that to be jarring if we just keep these lines. Then there are ones where, hey, we've had an update to our processes. The hardware you have now is fine, but in mastering, we find that there's an error or something that's spitting out artifacts that we can't fix on the audio side. So we need to re record some of these. So a lot of it is controls for not just making sure our recordings are sound, but making sure that we can record them one time through and we won't have any further errors. So really essentially tightening our shot group, making sure that when we do it right the first time. And from there, it just becomes an exercise in making sure I'm imparting as much of my experience and information as I can on the people I'm working with.
Okay. Yeah, that does
And
make sense.
for the one person screaming in chat, yes, boy. Rosa is going to yell at you in Spanish. She's one of my favorite voice actors of the entire cast.
Oh, there you go.
Good.
A little bit of Rosa action, huh?
Take notes, Humo.
Don't fucking tell me. We've been reading None in the Chamber, and there's a lot of Spanish in that, and it makes me sweat because I am a filthy monolingual, and I butcher that language. Fucking, I would not be surprised if some people wanted my fucking head on a pike for it. But yeah, especially when it comes to like VA work, I could see that being like definitely a thing where you kind of have to treat people based off of like how much experience they have and how they kind of like. I mean, each person's different, right? You might need to give somebody more direction. You might need to give somebody less direction. So, at least to that respect, I can completely understand it. This one's gonna relate a little bit to one of the questions I have next. But with the improvements to the process, is there any one location that you've noticed that doing things a little bit differently has made things go exponentially smoother, or is it usually just kind of incremental steps with figuring things out that work and what don't work? Like any big breakthroughs in development?
Well, getting everybody a proper setup was quite a big through when it comes to audio, but most of it wasn't like a eureka moment. It was just incremental, yeah. sorry, there's not a lot of fun stuff when it comes to organizing shit like this.
Oh,
But
that's perfectly fine.
yeah, so it was mostly incremental. It just took some time to figure stuff out while we were playing along the way.
Okay, gotcha. All right. In that case, we could probably move on to kind of what I wanted to jump into after that is the idea of timelines. When we were talking with Roach about the Mimi project, the kind of way that he was handling things is very hands off. Like people can contribute when they want to contribute, and it's sort of a we'll get there when we get there type mentality, right? When it comes to Encore, do you guys have like internal timelines for when you want to meet targets in order to meet like some sort of release? Because I don't think you guys have committed to like a hard set date or anything. So just want a little bit of like idea of how does that kind of work on your guys' front?
We started off pretty laissez-faire. It was more so the formative phases of, okay, we started off as a group of people, a collective who were just doing things and seeing what stuck. We had general goals we wanted to achieve as far as you know what you're doing, you know what needs to be done. And from that point, once everything started to really solidify in terms of organization, and we had less concerns about how things are going to get done, more when they're going to get done, we started kind of looking at what is going to take the longest for us right now. What can we do to make sure that they have the manpower they need to get that done? And from there, um, one of the things we noticed about the project is, okay, we have all these people, all these wheels turning, but there are certain individuals that if they aren't present as far as their department, things really won't get done. So then it became a delegation game trying to make sure, okay, do we have people who can serve as backups? Do we have people who will actually be able to handle business for this team should someone be step away for a little while?
Mm-hmm.
So it became a game of basically accordion, where, hey, this department's good, this department's good, this department could potentially kick us out 2 months. So what can we do to tighten up that timeline? What
Right.
can we do to make sure that this is still going to get delivered on time? And we don't have hard deadlines as far as when we want things done. We have soft deadlines. It's like we want to be able to push this at this date. So we need to have these things done for this date so these people can work. And then it's backwards planning from there. And we're operating on that same kind of shifting timeline, but we have an idea of when we want to be able to push this. And that's consistent with our original goal.
Okay. Yeah, that makes that tracks. I know that whenever you have hard deadlines for things, it can start to get a little. Stressful is one word, but there's a certain mentality that starts to go on, especially if there's specific parts that are dragging a little bit. So having soft deadlines, I feel like if nothing else, is definitely a good way to at least help keep morale up. Because you have the grand idea of we want to reach this destination, but we're also willing enough to be able to kind of move around and kind of shape ourselves in whatever way we need to do to get there. Hopefully, I'm not misrepresenting your guys' flow there. That's just from how I understand timelines and whatnot, given my brief history with groups back in uni.
Organization is a thing that really, and there are 100 ways to skin a cat.
Absolutely.
You can do, as long as the job gets done, there are different ways to manage people, manage expectations, manage things. This is just the way that we found works for the hands-off approach we have to certain members of our team.
Mm-hmm.
At least as far as my section goes, because there are a lot of people and I'm not working with every single person every single day.
Right.
So when I'm here and I'm working with someone, that's still good work that's getting done. I can't speak to any of the other major departments,
mm-hmm.
but in the departments I do fall under, it's we want to get this done for this deadline because we have to get these things done in this reasonable amount of time. We're not working under crunch, but we're also not saying, oh, just get it done whenever.
Right.
And sometimes we'll have to nudge, budge people when it comes to job done. Because again, most of the people there are working for free, so it's kind of expected that people will not take a lot of time over free time to work on this project. But again, most of the stuff is discussed beforehand. How much time can we delegate to a project where we can help? And when push comes to shove, we sometimes have to tell people like, "Hey, dude, what's up? Any updates and all that?" But it's the usual shtick, like so.
Yeah, it sounds about par for the course what you'd expect. And I mean, you guys have touched on it before. You have members across all different types of time zones, so
Yep.
I guess that's another thing I want to touch on. How do you go about communications, both within different departments and across the departments? Maybe like what tools do you use to make sure that everybody's kind of on the same page? I know when we were talking to Roach, he had I can't remember what specific program he did, but it was one that programmers tend to use, so that way he could set out like characters over here so that they can maintain parity between. It might have been Trello. I think Roach is actually in the chat. If you're here, Roach, you can throw the name of the program that you're using. But essentially, he had that in place so that anytime anybody wasn't able to make like a meeting or something, they could easily hop over to that and see whatever new information was added. And it's just a way to keep everybody on board despite different schedules and all that jazz.
I'm watching the chat.
When it comes to us, lucid. Okay,
Roach
interesting.
says a lucid chart.
Lucid chart. I'll look into that. Sounds interesting. But when it comes to our organization, every department has their own channels on Discord when it comes to that. But also we have a giant Google disk where we post and update stuff when it comes to spreadsheets, text documents, general graphics, voice lines, and all that. We usually use those when it comes to updates and stuff. People just clock in and show their updates there. They tell us when they post new stuff. We discuss the stuff in Discord, the usual shtick.
Mm-hmm.
But sounds interesting. Maybe this lucid chart I'll look into. Thank you, Roach.
Yeah, and from what I saw, the way he had his lucid chart set up, it's enough information that anybody could hop on and get a good idea of what the project is and what needs to be done, what areas have been worked on, all that good stuff. So, but yeah, in when it comes to, so you guys are touching like on just about every single aspect of Snoot game here with Encore. One thing I was curious about, because I don't do a lot of creative endeavors outside of streaming, so I'm not too sure how long it takes to do certain things, right? When it comes to all of the different pieces that are going into Encore, do you have any kind of idea which one is like the biggest undertaking and the one that's going to have required the most amount of time to fully realize?
Yes.
Yeah. Dude, guess.
All right. We had a late addition to the team, and right now the thing that we anticipate is going to take the longest, that we are trying to mitigate the amount of time it will take. We do have an animation team. And we may not be able to have them be as prominent in what we want to release originally as we can, but we understand that given a bit more time, they will be able to produce things that we will want and incorporate into our product.
So it's no contest though. Animation's the one that's going to take the most amount of time to get cooking.
But between,
at the moment, yes.
Yeah, between the responsibilities of the animation team and the fact that they started a bit later than many of the other departments, they're playing catch up, but we're attempting to give them the resources they need to really push through on that, and then they'll have a much greater span of time once the original hurdle is pushed through to work with the remainder of the art team for like fills and colors and ensuring that everything is going to be presentable.
Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough.
There's also a thing with backgrounds, but it just also takes just some time. But it's stable, you could say. It comes in time and all that. It just takes a lot of time for backgrounds to be created.
Mm-hmm. But it's steadily coming along is the thing, right?
Yeah.
Right.
That's pretty stable on that front.
Gotcha. Okay. That makes good bit of sense because I know that even with my limited knowledge of artistic endeavors, I know that animation's one of those things that takes a good amount of time to get right as well. So that is not a surprising answer.
Yep.
Okay. So here's one that particularly piques my interest a little bit, and that is when it comes to the VA side of things. How did you guys go about the auditioning process? How did you go about selecting who you were going to have as what voice?
Oh, I love this topic. So
I don't love this topic.
Oh boy.
I love this topic because it started pretty interesting. Like first time when we auditioned for our VAs, we had actually like auditions for that shit in the Snoot Club. So people would join in and give up their voices. I would master them so it sound nicely, and then we decided, like from the start of this thing, we decided to do everything openly and a bit community driven. Like we didn't want to create something that community would not enjoy. So what me and Easy, one of our previous directors, decided to do is to create a vote on who's gonna voice what character.
Mm-hmm.
So we did that. People, we got shit ton of voice. Like the folder that waited when I got all the voices, it was like 5 gigs or something when everybody submitted their submissions for their respective voice.
Woof.
And after mastering every single one of them, putting on this example, people would listen to them and vote on their favorite character.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how we got our first batch of actors. Funny thing is, now some people don't like him. Apparently, people don't like that Reed has a Spanish accent. Like he's and every time I remember when we posted Reed's trailer, everybody was like, "Why he's Hispanic?" and was like, "Bitch, you voted on that. Like, shut the fuck up." It's like you decided, the community decided. Too late to back down now.
Mm-hmm.
And he sounds pretty good. Like he sounds like a stoner. Our Reed actor is really fucking good. Like he already delivered, I think, all the game almost when it comes to voice acting. So he's a good guy. But yeah, with all the other actors, that's how it was decided who's gonna voice who. After that, it was less democratic, so to say. We had to veto some of the stuff. Our project got more high quality, and we couldn't allow everyone to jump in. So basically, we do private castings for different actors to decide on their talent and their ability when it comes to that character. And that's how we usually decide. We usually put auditions when we need a voice actor. Anybody can be an extra. That doesn't mean that I have to join the server. Please don't. We already have too many people. But yeah, so there's that basically.
Okay, so yeah, at the very least, the beginning was very open, and then as things started going, you had to be a little bit more selective, right?
Yeah. Oh boy, yeah, because I remember when how should I put it? I wasn't agreeing with some of the choices that people did for the voice actors that we decided to put in the vote.
Mm-hmm.
But after that I was like, fuck it, I'll roll with these dudes. It turned out well. I'm glad it did. But boy oh boy, if you ask the community, you're gonna get 1,000 replies that all gonna contradict themselves, and it's a heavy endeavor.
Yeah, I could assume that it's a very diverse crowd out there, and they have many voices.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
So, at the beginning there, Cass, I believe you were saying that you were not too keen on all of that. Could you maybe go into a little bit why?
I was originally just a voice actor.
Mm-hmm.
and the organization of the team was still very sparse, so things were in the primordial soup, so to say.
Right.
Eventually, it became clear that many of the people who were actually brought onto the project originally, insofar as voice actors, were they were moderately experienced, but many of them were more on the amateur than professional side.
Mm-hmm.
And it became clear that the directors at that point, while they were skilled in certain areas, there was no cohesive vision for what was supposed to be done as far as voice acting and direction.
Mm-hmm.
What it became clear at a certain point was out of everyone on the server, um, you would have multiple actors preferring to record with certain directors. Certain directors would have a certain vision for things. They would record that in that way, and from there you compound that 3 or 4 times over,
Ugh.
and everything just kind of mishmashed.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
So
speaking of, yeah, that was I was wrong in the past. It was like asking what was one of our breakthroughs. That's one that was one of our breakthroughs. We decided to conglomerate the voice acting directing to one guy. He's sitting right next to me on this really nice sofa. So that's our cast as our VA director. So he's responsible for all the voices will sound good and uniform when it
Good.
the
comes to
issue
delivery.
with my coming in late, though, was that I didn't have the input that I needed from the beginning to really set our team up for success.
Mm-hmm.
Because I will tell you point blank and with little reservation that if I were put in the same position and I had every single voice actor in every audition from the beginning in front of me, I wouldn't have made the same choices for some of the actors that we have.
Mm-hmm.
Not because I don't believe the ones we have currently are good, but because there's a difference between sounding good on an audition reel and actually being able to take that and extrapolate that to a product.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's not just about how someone sounds, it's about the variation which they're able to bring to that character while still maintaining character. It's being able to really understand things like if you're reading a script, where is the pitch going? Where is the diction? How can you inform someone of the emotions or the intent behind a certain line? Because unlike acting, proper acting, we don't have the luxury of people seeing someone's face. We don't have body language. We don't have props.
Mm-hmm.
We are a visual novel, and most of the character is going to be condoned through voice.
Right.
So, unfortunately, it's been a constant back and forth between trying to manage the expectations we have for proper voice acting and trying to do things with the established characters we have, because we don't want a situation where, hey, we have someone who's perfect for the role. Now I have to either bring someone who was in that role that I've been working with for months down by saying, hey, thank you for all the hard work. Now we have to give you the boot, and I'm going to have this person do your job for you. And then I don't want to be in the position where, great, I've got someone awesome. Now I have to re record months of work I've done with this other person with this new person.
Right. Yeah. So from what it sounds like, it's kind of a case of where you can to touch on like the when you were talking about the inflection and like the diction and all of that. It's kind of a matter of the acting side of the voice acting, right? Like you can have a really good voice, one that kind of fits the character, but you need to be able to do more with the voice, like really articulate that character, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that makes sense. So it sounds like from the voice acting department, the biggest issue for that was just the lack of, I guess, cohesion and unity in that whole aspect, I suppose, to use a word for it, at the beginning, and then having to try to kind of walk that back a little bit and start to form the VA department, right? You being the VA lead and whatnot, and having to kind of make up for all of, like the technical debt that was accrued during that.
Yeah. So technical and tactical proficiencies were not on the mind when the community was making it. They're just like, yeah, that person sounds like this character. And by the time I was brought on, I had enough they had enough work done, and I didn't want to have to go through the entire process of recasting everyone. Because again, at that point, we were community driven.
Mhm.
So we didn't want to fly in the face of the principles on which we were founded on.
Of course.
But as we kind of strayed away and recognized, hey, we want to deliver a better product rather than a community driven product, we were able to broaden our horizons. So we're able to pull from a lot more resources now. We have some actors that we pulled from outside sources, outside the community, and they're more than willing to work with us. And I will say we've made some fans of them.
Mm-hmm.
But it's more or less just keeping our heads above water in that I was put in a position where I wouldn't have done some of the things that were done by the people before me and sins of the father. I'm just working to make sure that when we do get to that point, it won't be so glaringly obvious that, yeah, we had good voices. I still need to make sure that these people are able to do everything that the characters demand of them.
Mm-hmm.
Because there would be nothing worse than having someone play through this, having a great time, really getting into it, and then the emotional ball just gets dropped during one of the endings because the actor or actress in question can't handle the lines that are before them, and they can't really act in that manner.
Yeah, I mean that's you definitely want to, if nothing else, at least stick the landing, right? And so it's especially with some of the endings, how emotional they can get. If you're not careful and you're not able to actually articulate that punch, I could see that being an issue for sure. Oh boy, Jake, you got anything you want to ask regarding the VA stuff? Because I know that you in particular also have a vested interest in that type of thing.
Yeah, I'm going with the flow right now. I'm just enjoying.
He's sipping on his drink. He has.
Yeah, I'm sitting back with a smirk on my face, just listening right now.
Okay.
I'm
the
co-host maxing. Is real.
I'm co-host maxing right now.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Oh, speaking of VE stuff, do a Fang voice.
Oh yeah, true.
You'll get that. Give me like.
No, do it now.
Listen, do you want a job?
Hey, there you go.
Son of a
Hey, but
bitch.
$20 is $20. Come on.
Oh no, this is the monkey gonna dance for $20. Tell you what, you'll get the Fang voice when Jake's reading off some fucking questions here in a minute, because I know damn well one of the questions is, and it's not a question, it's gonna be do the Fang voice. So I'll wait for that moment, because you know damn well Laster's gonna poke his head up for that. Yeah, see, he's already saying,
right.
"Come on, Humo." But yeah, like let's make sure we get through these questions first before I fry my brain trying to do that. Yeah.
All right.
We're getting to the end. Don't worry, you guys aren't gonna have to wait long. So this one wasn't on the list of the interview questions I sent you guys, but it's one that I think is kind of important to ask, and that is kind of like how do you guys feel about like the community reception surrounding Snoot Encore? Because obviously you're gonna have people who may not be as enthusiastic, like you have the whole spectrum, right? You got people who are not going to be enthusiastic about the project at all, and you got people who are 100% all in. And I kind of want to get an idea of like, how do you guys feel about the community's reception thus far?
At least personally for me, I find that no matter what project you undertake, you're going to have people who are ardent supporters and who are fanatical detractors.
Mm-hmm.
And it's well within reason that everybody is here for different reasons and everybody wants to do things. So we're not making this with this is going to appeal to everyone in mind, because we're just trying to elucidate on an experience that we had and we want to improve upon for the sake of other people. We're not trying to replace the original Snoot game. We're trying to give it some polish that the circumstances of its production didn't afford it. And now that there is a community coalesced around it, we want to offer it some of the love and dedication that the community is willing to offer to it. There are a lot of mods out there and a lot of fan projects out there that are operating in the same vein. A lot of alternate route mods, a lot of smaller mods focusing on secondary characters, and each one of those have people who are really like the idea and some people who don't enjoy them and aren't interested in it, and truth isn't measured in mass appeal. So it'll be great for some people, it'll be fucking terrible for others, and there will be people out there who are going to send Bitcoin assassins to jab us with their insulin pens and try to kill us. At the end of the day, I don't really care. It's more a statement towards the resilience of the community that people are so enthralled with something like this, an IP like this, that they're willing to take months or years out of their life to put something out. And even if you don't like something, if you don't like a project, if you don't like people working on the project, you like something about this. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here. And if you can hone in on that and you're able to take that drive and make something that people will either like or dislike, that's better than just sitting there and being the sword of Damocles, damning and judging every single thing that crosses you by. Nobody here is a Roman emperor. We're not doing this for any one person or group of people. We're doing it for a community, and a community as wide and varied as Snoot, between geographical, lingual boundaries, how people got into it, the time they got into it. Everybody's going to have a different stream of consciousness and experience, and I can't account for every single person. So you like it or you don't. At the end of the day, I don't give a shit. That's on you. But I'm making what I'm making, and you can like it or you cannot.
Also, when it comes to different opinions, we receive both positive and negative reviews, and when it comes to criticism, we try to listen to it. Like it was proven in the past. Like for example, we had this thing with saturation that we even did a poll on Twitter when it come to that. So because we are not blind, we understand that some of our ways are maybe not as good as could have been. Also, a thing that became already a meme in our community is Nacer Stids. Like that was also really fucking funny. We toned down that as well. Like when it comes to reception, we we listen to it. We're not like doing this solo just to piss off a community or something. We're trying to create like a fresh coat of paint for a game we love, and we love it as well. And we're not GVH. We're not we're not planning to just ruin it all. Our scope is to give this beautiful game a fresh coat of paint, to expand on its great characters. That's why we called it Encore in the first place, like just to give it more shine, so more people could enjoy it again, or maybe enjoy it anew. And we really hope for that to happen.
That's pretty well said. I mean, from how it sounds, this is, sort of just like a huge love letter to the original game, and paying respects to it. And like, of course, you want to take criticisms where you can and make sure you're improving it wherever it makes sense to improve it. But come hell or high water, you guys just want to see this thing realized in the way that pays respects to the source material. And that's I'd say that's pretty admirable.
Thank you.
Okay, and now we're coming towards the end of the questions here. We got one more before we open it to Q&A. Jesus Christ.
Oh god, I just had a flashback.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Oh,
no, fuck.
You want to touch on that real quick, or?
Okay, let me just say it straight, buddy. How many lines this game has?
Man, I'm not good with numbers. That's a lie. I'm good with numbers. I'm not good at remembering.
It's thousands. And the thing is, with our way of directing stuff when it comes to VA, every take has every line has several takes. So basically, for us to pick the best take, we have to go through thousands of lines to find the best take. Then we have to master it, to hear how it sounds in the mastered format and all that. Sometimes we have to re-record shit. Like every time we hear the word QA, we shiver, because there's a lot of work when it comes to that. Holy shit! But it's worth it, honestly. Yeah, it's not something that we're afraid of. It's just something that needs to be done, so to say.
Yep, you can't ignore it. It's got to be done at some point. So just got to buckle down and do it, right? That's fair enough. All right. Well, with the last thing I got here, obviously you guys are kind of the head, like some of the heads of this project, right? And so this is the kind of question that I feel is best to ask you guys. And that's, if anybody has like a project they want to undertake that is larger, that isn't just like swapping a couple of lines for a mod or something, or hell, even if you have insight in that respect. We've been talking kind of a bit about the process overall throughout the whole interview here, but for kind of just like a closing on the project, or talking about the project itself, do you have any advice that you could give to someone who is going to try and take a crack at something of this magnitude?
Yeah, well, when it comes to that, my biggest advice that you could give is get yourself a Tard Wrangler. Like, you really need a person that's gonna be the lead of a team and to create a scope that everybody can agree to. Because when it comes to projects like this, driven by with more than one person, there's gonna be a shit ton of opinions.
Mm-hmm.
And if everybody's gonna be a director, it's gonna move nowhere. Basically, people are just gonna start bitching about the vision about certain parts of the project. So you need to have a coherent structure when it comes to mod development. Because if you're just gonna go throw ideas and random, people are gonna do random shit like, oh well, let's create this character for this project. Also, I added this really cool sound snippet to it. Like, it just that's gonna be implemented chapter 65 or something. No, there should be like created a scope like of a project of how you're gonna see it developed in the long run. You need a pipeline when it comes to things delivered. You need a structure basically for your creation. Like, it's cool that you have enthusiasm at the moment, but that enthusiasm is gonna wane sooner or later.
Mm-hmm.
So you need to create a pipeline for what they gonna do, so you're not gonna get lost, because it happens quite often. But people have a shit ton of enthusiasm. We start creating random shit for that mod, like out of bounds, like one sprite there, a soundbite there, or something like this. But at the end of the day, we just have a mishmash of different assets that we don't know even where to put. So yeah, my biggest advice: create a plan first when it comes to mod. How you're gonna deliver this shit, and have a person that's gonna remind people of that plan. So it's fine to listen to different opinions, because many opinions can be valid. But if you're gonna have too many cooks in the kitchen, so to say, nothing's gonna be prepared and everything's gonna be burned.
From my side of the house, if you're going to undertake a project of this scale and magnitude, you really need to understand what you're getting yourself into. There are a lot of people who say, oh, Caveman On was able to make this entire game in about a year with a dedicated team of individuals who probably put anywhere from 2 to 4 hours a day into making the final product from scratch.
Mm-hmm.
That is not a realistic and feasible experience for a majority of people, much less a team of people who come from nothing and may have had experience in certain areas and certain development cycles, but not as a cohesive whole. Every journey begins with a single step, and taking that first step is saying, I'm going to do it. But that's the easy part, because when it actually comes to doing the rest of it, there are going to be times where you want to quit. There are going to be times where things will get difficult or challenges will blindside you from nowhere. But at the end of the day, as long as you're not giving up, your team isn't giving up, it's all going to be useful experience for you, even if at the end of the day something falls apart. So failure isn't the end, it's a part of the process. So don't get discouraged because, oh, this thing I wanted to do wasn't well received, or, oh, I'm having issues with this, that, the other thing. View it as a learning opportunity, because it's never going to get easier. It's just going to start sucking less.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you could imagine how many times I did relearn some of the stuff and learn something new while doing this project. And I would never give up. It's just gonna be a new learning opportunity for me. Like, I always, when it comes to problem solving, I never think I'm gonna fail. I know it's gonna be hard. Maybe some shit I'm gonna stand by, but at the end of the day, if you're gonna keep have this mentality that you're still gonna finish this shit, you'll find a way. So you gotta keep yourself focused, have a plan, and don't drop everything from one mistake or one troublesome thing that's bugging you down. just going forward. And yeah, as Cass said, it's just gonna suck less over time.
All right. Those are very good answers. Sometimes it seems like those are the kind of answers that people would you would think people would intuitively know, but hearing it from people who are actively out there doing things and like they have that experience at this point that they can tell you this is important information. That helps it resonate even more with people. So it's good to hear that from you guys.
Let me add something else just quickly with Cayman, for example.
Mhm.
One thing that people don't realize quite often is that people always see the highs, but they never see the lows.
Right.
When it comes to struggles and the project, people usually see the final result and be like, hey, that's pretty cool. I wanted that as well. But they never see the background that it comes to creating something like this. And you
Mhm.
got to realize sometimes you got to jump behind the veil. Yeah, it's going to ruin the magic of a product, but at least you're going to see the things more realistic, understand how much blood, sweat, and dedication comes to creating some of those things. And you gotta face those facts. And if you're not scaring you, if that's something that you're willing to do it, buddy. I have full faith in you.
Yep, absolutely. I mean,
Beautiful.
I know with at least Wani, like there's after the development and everything, or after the game came out and everything, there was talk about how the development cycle went for it. I can't remember if there was like that information released regarding Snoot, but it isn't sunshine and rainbows behind the process all the time. So that's definitely something that people need to have in mind and realize they're going to have to probably broach those topics at some point. But by all means, don't be intimidated by it. If you really want to create, create.
Absolutely.
Yep.
All right. Well, that kind of runs out everything that I had on this piece of paper here. I wish I had like a paper prop so that I could make a noise with that, but there goes my smart ass. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and open it up to the chat now. You guys can go ahead and start asking some fucking questions, and I'll start sweating about how I've got to do a fucking Fang voice.
All right. Well, first of all, I would like to preface that Hermit Crab is here. So
I know. I know.
Okay, just making sure. And for our guest here, Hermit Crab is the one who was responsible for the edging. So,
Amazing.
The culprit is present, and will be doing it again.
How do you think about that stuff? We actually, okay, this is gonna sound a bit cringe, but I'm gonna say it. We were joking around that we could get more money for this project by doing asking our actresses to do specific voice lines that people would request.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we thought that'd be funny as fuck, but then we understood that this community has too many fucking coomers, and we just dropped that down very fucking quickly, just in an evening. Because, sorry guys, I love you all, but you're one of the most Puritan and one of the most coomerish community I've ever known at the same time.
I mean, you would make a lot of money really quick.
For sure.
Like fucking the amount of times I've seen people say, "So when's the OnlyFans gonna open?" And I don't know if they're entirely joking. Yeah, they're out there.
Well, I've got a first question to ask already from a certain Artiv. There is a project called Snoot Game the Animatic. Are you guys associated with them, or is it a completely different project?
Yes and no.
Yeah. We're associated by two handshakes, so to say.
Okay, so it's sort of
we have some people that are working on it on our team as well. Let's put it that.
You acknowledge each other's presence.
Yeah, of course.
I
Right.
will very pointedly say that the animatic team has approached me and is attempting to poach me after Encore is done to assist them in some of what they're doing.
I bet, because it sounds like you got your shit together, so they probably want that.
Oh, buddy, you have no fucking idea the amount of medication that goes into keeping me. I will actually say that the development of this project has caused me a medical catastrophe, and I'm still here.
Oh, boy.
Buddy, tell that story. It's fucking fantastic.
I'll shake my pill bottle for you if you want solidarity.
No, it's okay. I'm off the pills now.
But,
my original schema of handling much of this was a clusterfuck of thwarted desire, in that I had what I believe to be exceptionally simple expectations, and sometimes those expectations would be belayed, and that caused me a certain amount of stress. I have a long and storied history of traumatic brain injuries, And one particular event set me off to the point where I had not a bursting aneurysm, but an aneurysm of a blood vessel in my brain.
Oh boy.
And I had to go to the hospital, and I was out of commission for a fair while on outpatient monitoring. So I make the joke that things have gotten easier since I've had my most recent bout of brain damage. And to a certain extent, many of the people I work with agree.
Well, I'm
So
glad. I'm glad you're okay.
Yeah. You know,
So as you can see, that's how serious we're about this project. We're having fucking brain trauma just from it. But
yeah.
it is
Yeah,
what it is.
and that's
Snoot Game
uh,
Encore gave me brain damage, my memoir.
Get a
Yep.
T-shirt. Put it on there.
I survived
Will
Snoot
do.
Game Encore.
Yeah, kind of like this.
I worked
I
on
will-
Snoot Game on Encore, and all I got was this stupid aneurysm.
I am willing to fucking die to see this project through. I don't think you understand.
Oh, that's badass.
That's
Trust me.
that's the mark of a creative right there, man.
Yeah, same shit. I'm gonna kill myself only after I finish this bitch. So.
Can I get a shout out in your suicide note, Alex?
Of course, we already discussed
Based.
that.
All right, news.
Yeah.
We're making history here, folks.
Let's go.
Oh
Alright.
boy. You know, maybe fucking
Speaking
Inko Noda
of,
was onto something.
Oh my God.
Also, funny thing about that old stuff, like our nicknames in the Snoot Encore server is Cass is the shit doer, I'm the glue, because unfortunately that's how life is. So,
All right, I've got a
Snoot
question.
induced brain damage, turning my brain to mush.
It's true. It really is. But I've got a question here from Cars, which I will ask the first part of and not the second one. I've got another question then. Will Rosa have a lot more screen time?
From what we have planned out so far, outside of the the extra chapters, she will be prominent in one of the extra chapters, and there have been additions to the existing chapters to include her where she otherwise wasn't.
Very good.
Rosa fans are
She
gonna be
will
eating
be
good.
screaming at you. She will be screaming at other people on other people's behalf.
All right, Rosa posters rejoice.
I think that's all they've ever wanted to hear.
yeah.
What's this? I'll ask it anyway. Another question from Cars. I don't know if this was answered indirectly, but I've got one. When auditioning for voice actors, did you already have them in the team by the time of production, or was it in the middle of it?
At the time, first iteration of voice actors, first we auditioned the voice act. Like when it was a dub mod, first we did auditions for voice actors, then we did production stuff. After that, we had several rounds of new people coming in that went in mid-production. So that's basically it. That's how
There
it
you
went.
go.
I got one from Vise on the Twitch side here. What was the biggest challenge when it came to upgrading the art assets, sprites, CGs, etc.?
Neither of us are from the art department, but
Mhm.
I would say that we had, or at least the art director has a particular vision for how it was supposed to be handled, and we have this expectation of consistency between the art teams. So it really is just we want things to at least look like a cohesive whole. So there were some issues with, well, not issues, but one of the things that the original Snoot game had was, like the backgrounds, there were drawn backgrounds, but then there were filtered backgrounds that were images. We wanted to eliminate that and have something more consistent, which is why we have a dedicated background artist. We have all of these sprites that are in the same style, and we have an expectation that the animations and CGs are going to follow much the same. So it's more so adjusting the expectations and experiences of our art team to go from, oh, you're just going to draw these things on your own, to you're kind of an understudy and we really need you to support the director and the main artist for making that cohesive whole.
Interesting.
All right then.
I hope that answers that question in a desirable manner. Especially since regarding, none of us are art people.
Yeah.
One comment I'm seeing from the chat from Iggy, GVH Nasser actually does have orange colored fingertips. It's also mentioned in Snoot game itself, even though it's not reflected.
Right.
In the
I was going to
sprites.
mention that.
As a
There's-
person that goes through all the fucking VAs, I remember it by heart. Those cheetah claws will fucking hurt, man. So yeah, that's a thing. So get used
Yeah.
to it. Mhm.
We
the Cheeto
were
fingers are real.
we
Yeah,
were
Cheeto
very
fingers are-
pointedly what's in the text, and some of the crew members we have were original caveman on for the development of Snoot. So we are going with almost a Puritan view of, now that it's not Snoot game and this is not monetary, we're not opposed to incorporating some of the similarities that were intended to be in place for the characters for GVH that weren't put in for the purposes of maintaining parity status.
That's interesting information that I don't think I was aware of. You have original caveman on people helping you.
Mm.
That's
Yes.
that's fun. I don't
They're
know.
consulting us when it comes to lore, mostly.
Boy, fucking howdy. Do
Well,
I
that's,
make them hurt?
I bet. You
I
show him the
asked-
cork board.
A single fucking question. And I went on a 14-hour writing binge elucidating the past 100 years of history.
I sure hope
I
you
have
share
a
that
problem.
after development is done. You should put that out because it'll help a lot of Snoot writers out there. I bet.
It's going to be utilized for an alternative project.
Ooh.
Oh, okay. A sort of mini announcement? Question mark.
Nothing yet.
Twiddles
Nothing
my
yet,
fingers together.
but the words have been spoken. All right. Well, let's see.
Soon that trademark. That's all we're gonna say.
Soon. Trademark. Yes.
Yes.
This is sort of a jokey joke question, but we love those from Hee Haw Jones. Cast Encore team high stakes poker game win.
When you can afford it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Every time we play poker in Discord, Cass wins every time. So there's like no.
I will admit, I have a lot of strange jobs, and I do a lot of strange things. Many people in my life have referred to me as Dos Equis because I live a very interesting life, and one of my goals is to have a Wikipedia article that is very interesting by the time I die.
That's-
I have civil service, I have military service, I am an accomplished actor, I don't play music, I'm a bass player, I'm not paid to know any of that bullshit. I consider myself, and I have the winnings to substantiate a claim of being a semi-professional poker player, to the point where I go into a room and 8 hours later I come back out with multiples of the amount of money I have. That is to say, there has been a running joke that the team gives me some of the funding for a tournament, I win the tournament, I cash the tournament, and I give back the money with interest.
I would very much love to play poker with you someday.
Mm.
He's got the
Mm,
let's
we
go
can organize
gambling, but without
For the
the
record,
aggregate.
no. Despite the memes that are out there, the team has never given me funds for the purposes of gambling. I furnish all of my own funds.
Not yet. Not yet. For the
No,
record, not
I'm
yet.
not taking the team's money to gamble.
Oh, come
You
on, not
said
even a
that
little
we
bit.
would win.
No.
It's a
All
treat.
right.
Hey, come on. Let's sell some copper. It's fine. Like, come on. Let's
Treat? Question mark.
Uh,
But all right,
uh,
let's see. We've got one from Flippo Possum. What kind of voice would Anon sound like?
how can we even answer that?
How can you? How can you? I don't know.
Grab
What does
his
the V-
ass.
What does the VA for Anon sound like?
He sounds like your kind of confused Midwestern teenager who doesn't know if he wants to be here or if he's really interested enough in that tarot baby to continue to put up with people's bullshit.
Exactly. That's what I fucking hope for, and I'm so excited for all of the VAs as a
He's- Ryan Gosling, literally you.
oh my god,
Yeah.
yes. But as an
Yeah,
aspiring
the VA,
VA,
it's all of you. Every Anon, it's you.
I fucking love all of the VAs that I've heard so far because it's it's just inspiring, But speaking of VA, we got another one from Love Me Tarot. Why does the Naomi voice sound like a character from an anime dub?
In one of my, I will say that originally the intent of the voice reveals was supposed to get a gauge of how people thought about certain characters, but I believe that the grand strokes kind of missed a lot of people. If you really hone in on where the lines come from, you'll notice that All of them almost always come from the first 2 chapters of the game. That voice, specifically with certain characters, is slated to change as the character develops. Naomi, as a character, is an extremely saccharine and plastic person.
Exactly.
That is slated to change. In fact, certain things have already been changed to reflect that. So I understand that some people may not like the anime voice, or they may have issues with this actor doing this or this actor doing that. One of the phrases I've come to adopt is, I wouldn't worry about it yet.
My thoughts exactly.
I know that whenever I've heard like maybe some pushback on any of the VAs that have been shown so far, I try to, anybody who might have a little bit of like, oh, I don't know about this, like wait and see. Like obviously you only have a snippet of like the full breadth of the character there and the voice acting potential. See how they go in the game, and likely they'll grow on you.
Trust
That's
the
the thing.
process, baby.
We cannot satisfy anyone. Also, because we did different things when it comes to character reveals. First, we tried to make it more expressive, so we chose the lines that are more expressive when it comes to that character and those specific lines. People say they are too anime-ish or animated and all that. Like, okay, we said, fuck it. Let's drop some regular lines in that shit. Now, the next comments I see, it's why this character is so plain and boring. Like,
Yep.
bruh.
Yes.
Because I use lines from regular dialogues. You didn't like when we say something more expressive, so I did. So yeah, again, you cannot please anyone. So we decided just to be more logical when it comes to VA and to see where we're lacking and we're not most from sometimes from community, but most from logical standpoint how characters should sound at that specific moment. So again, when you're gonna play the demo, you'll see that everything is Gucci. So don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Trust the process.
This.
We got one from Snoot Bicycle. Will the CGs change to match the new art style?
If there are changes that need to be reflected, yes.
There you go. Simple. Asked and answered. Another one from also Snoot Bicycle. Will there be new CGs?
I believe those are on the table. Right now, CGs are kind of on the back burner because we're focusing on the main assets of the game. But once we get to the point where the art team has shifted their focus from some of the base elements to any additional CGs in relevant situations. So it's certainly on the table, but as far as my side of the writing goes, we don't have any intentions for it, but it's certainly possible.
My personal opinion, CGs are the most developed things in Snoot game based from the graphical standpoint. So we decided to put that on the back burner because they're not that different and stylistically, different in general compared to, for example, backgrounds or the UI. Because backgrounds are just literal photoshopped images, like, bruh. UI is really simplistic, so we decided to do something more interesting with that. With CGs, all the CGs in the base game are pretty good as they are. So for the purposes of not mentally killing our artists, we decided to release the demo and normal time frame. We decided to put the CGs for now in the back burner.
Well, we're still on the CG topic. Got a question from Martyr. Will the unfinished CGs from the art book be added in?
Maybe.
Maybe. Good enough. Got one from Reed here. No, not that Reed. Different Reed. So for how hard is it to find someone to copy Fing's voice in GVH? Or was that even a plan in the first place?
We didn't plan on copying Fang's voice from GVH 1-for-1. We had a read on the character, and the difference of that character was highlighted in our understanding of she's not going to be as stoic, placid, Marcus Aurelius bust head ass as she was in GVH. So we went with someone who was able to find a pretty sweet spot between can you voice and can you act.
Right. Somebody who's stoic but not emotionless.
It can come out, and again, as the story progresses, Fang opens up and things change. So there will be updated direction at certain points to express, because again, the characters are mostly expressed through voice, that they to reflect that they are changing.
Right. We've got one from Stormshaker012 here. Will we get revamped bonus chapters along with the new in between chapters?
We have
Yeah.
you speak to it, Alex.
Okay. With bonus chapters again, we really want to finish the main game first. We'll probably tackle bonus chapters when we're gonna finish with the base game, because it is taxing as it is. So for the sake of keeping the scope and pipeline clean, we also put the bonus chapters on the back burner after we finish the main game. People already were asking us if we're gonna dub one, and every time I hear it, I just want to be hysterically laugh like, "Bruh, wait,
Yeah.
please."
There's a couple questions about that down there too. So yeah, just
Mhm.
forewarning you. But let's see. I think so. A little question for me in regards to the bonus chapters. Are you waiting until the game is out and then you're going to release the bonus chapters later as an update, or something along those lines, perhaps?
Probably not to Blue Ball people. Will release the main game first, and then we're gonna add bonus chapters as another update to Encore.
Right. Okay, that makes sense. That's what makes the most sense to me personally.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
Because undoubtedly, there's people that want to sink their teeth into this, so the sooner they get it, the happier they'll be for sure.
Oh boy, don't even tell me. People are gonna like fucking tear me apart just to see anything that's happening. And I really want to keep the kitchen close, so I'm not gonna reveal everything. I was still skeptical to revealing some of the soundtrack for all the stuff. Like I still want to have surprises when the demo comes out, so people will be excited for something. Because if I'm gonna put all the cards on the table, what's the point?
Yeah.
Exactly. Got a question here from Pints. Question: out of all the characters, which one was the hardest to write for?
Of the characters we've written so far, there are some entirely new characters that kind of stand in certain places for convenience devices. There are new characters who were meant to be in the game that were not in the game, and there are characters that are
Sage?
established and making new appearances in certain places. I would say the challenge wasn't really so much who is difficult to write for, because in any instance, unless you have a very specific idea for what you're going to be doing with the character, they are pretty easy to write, or they can be very difficult to write. But within those operating parameters of, okay, we know this character does this, 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 it was more so the overarching goals of, hey, we have a new chapter. What's going to happen in the new chapter? How does that lend itself to the story? How does that help tie up loose ends? So really, it's more of an exercise of, we have this blueprint, but we need to figure out where we can fit in more.
Right.
And I think we have a pretty solid idea of how we can handle those things. Of the chapters the bonus chapters we have written, some of them are on the shorter side, some of them are on the longer side. I will say that even of the additions we have to chapters that currently exist, one of the longer chapters of the game, we added things to it, and it is approximately 40% longer than it is in the original game.
That's healthy.
I know. I hate myself for it because I have to do everything for it now.
Well, this leads into a question that was asked further down, but I'm asking it right now because I want to open the Necronomicon and horrify myself. But Sage? Question mark?
Oh boy.
Who's Sage?
Please don't. I need to know if that creature is going to be in the game or not.
I have no comment.
Oh,
Hey,
fuck.
no comments. Sorry.
Fuck. All right.
Oh boy.
Well, I guess the nightmare doesn't have to exist in my mind for right now, but it's lingering.
Your goddess came true, and the nightmare came true.
All right. From IG in 1997, Mr. Dev, what's your favorite Snoot mod? And both of you can answer this. Sorry, I'm still thinking about Sage.
Favorite mod?
Yeah.
Honestly, if you will believe me, I still haven't played 1E. I'm that fucking dedicated to Encore, so I don't play a lot of mods. But the last mod that I played, I really enjoyed. I played the first new jam. I wouldn't say like favorite, but I really enjoyed the sprite work for that anime contest where people would like use different like cosplays were doing there. That was good. Also,
Ah.
that thing with Lunara where we used the Cerveza Crystal meme in that mod. That was
Oh,
fucking
man.
fantastic. I love that so much.
Yeah, that one was pretty good.
Of the mods that I have experience with, I admittedly haven't played nearly as many Snoot mods as I really should have. My favorite mods so far that I have played would probably be Fishing Mod because it captures a lot
Beautiful.
of what my idea for adding additional content to the game was. You have your characters, you know where they're flying, you know their timeline, you know places to fit things in, but it serves to elucidate the characters and really ground them in a setting and the interactions between them that you just don't get to see otherwise. They can be assumed, they can be implied, but actually being able to bring them out into the open is something that I felt was very compelling for what the project was eventually going to be. And then there's the bias side of me, and I would say Double Date because I worked on that.
Oh,
Fair.
Double Date, yeah, also a really good mod. I
Yeah.
remember that. Naomi going fifth base and Nasser saying bussies was really fucking great. But
For which I apologize. That was my.
You never you oh man, you started the whole Naser Bussy thing?
I didn't start it. I launched it into the stratosphere.
You
I believe the person who
lost
started it would
fire.
be Enroll. He did the art and he kind of made that its own thing, and that was a reference to that.
Oh, lovely.
Also, Bad Bitch Tale, 10 out of 10, obviously.
Shut the fuck up.
Oh my god. Oh my god. All
I
right.
don't even know what what Bad Bitch Stella is all about.
Now
all I
shut
know
up.
is that
We
I
don't
should
talk
stay.
about it.
I
No.
should stay away
Shut
from
up.
it.
Quiet.
Okay.
Quiet, Fang Man. Get ready. You're up soon.
The fact that we're
Anyway.
fucking drumming this up so much, it's gonna be so disappointing.
Yeah, it'll be funny though.
It'll be
Anyway,
really funny.
It will.
anyway, Stormsaker 012 asks, "Will we see certain Puppet Pals characters in the school background shots?"
No comment again.
Okay.
I love no
Adequate.
comment. It makes me happy.
There's a difference. In my experience working for the government, if someone says that they don't know something, it means it's classified. And if they say something's classified, it means they don't know.
Tucks that little
Lovely.
tidbit of information in the back of my head.
We got one from here from Dragon Core. Not sure if it's already been asked, but anything about Tracy, my beloved hot dog lady?
Archive, please go.
Well, Tracy, yeah, she's gonna be engaged. That's can I say, but also really small lore about our team. Tracy is our unofficial mascot when it comes to. You probably figured out why, but there's that. We'll probably. I don't know. Honestly, I cannot say because I'm not a writer, so I'm not gonna make promises. But she's gonna be there. Yes.
Yeah, we've got some real Tracy heads in chat.
Yeah.
Tracy will be in the video game.
You know,
Yeah,
Yes,
we know
that's for
that.
sure.
Hot dog wife is real.
I
Okay.
kind of have a
What?
question because I realized we never really touched upon it. Do you guys have a favorite dino?
Oh, true.
You want the short answer or the long answer?
Man, whatever answer you want to give.
Yeah, dog, it's up to you.
Okay, so the long answer is I believe that one of the compelling messages of the game is understanding, recognizing, and being able to empathize with the many struggles people have. Everyone is fighting their own battles. Nobody is on their own. Everybody's struggling at something.
Mhm.
To that end, there are redeeming qualities of every character, but being able to use those to mitigate the potential negative traits of someone is probably one of the most important things about any one person or any character they like. So there are some characters that may be bad in the eyes of others, and there are certain facets they love and certain facets they hate. But being able to take it as a comprehensive whole and separating someone from the things you may like or hate about them is probably really important. Short answer, Rosa.
Right.
Fair enough.
See,
We're talking about Snoot characters. I thought about actual like dinosaurs.
Oh, I mean, if you want to give your
no.
favorite dino too, go for it.
brother, we were asking who you would put your wiener in.
I was not
Ah,
asking that, but
Yeah, you
The
were.
thing is-
Shut up.
I'm between Fang and Stella because I dated both types of those girls and I know what can happen. Like, don't date anime girls. It's gonna ruin your life. I'm telling you. But
You heard it here first, Stella Poster. Stella sucks. Fuck you. I was right.
oh
and
man.
Shinensaki just comes with a lot of problems. I had to watch a lot of yaoi with my ex. Like, it's a thing that you have to deal with anime girls. Yes. So every time Fujoshi joke about something like Yarichin Club, I'm like, hey, I know that shit, and they're like, holy fuck, you're one of those. You know, he's ascended. But yeah, I know the problems that come with such girls. They can ruin your life, or they can save your soul. That's the thing. So it depends on the person. But if I had to choose, I'd probably choose Stella still.
It's the Goros.
That's yeah, cool. All right, moving
You're
on.
so mad. You're so mad right now.
Six the Demon asks, so
I
when are you guys?
actually said Stella just to make him mad. But anyways, yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, all right. Six the Demon asks, so when you guys are done with Encore, this is
Oh,
what
boy.
I was talking
Here
about,
we
by the
go.
way. Will you go on to make a Wani or any other projects? And if you guys do a Wani project, what will it be called?
Yeah, of course.
The thought of doing a Wani Encore so soon after Wani has already been there gives me a certain headache that only 115 grams of 9mm lead taken orally until symptoms stop can fix.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly. As I said before,
Been what, like
if
4
I'm not
months?
gonna kill myself, I'm still not gonna do it. I'm sorry, but again, Cass spoke the truth. It's like, come on, the game came out like what, several months ago.
One thing I will
So-
say, however, is that after this project is done, I'm spoken for, and I will be working on something else.
As you have already. Okay, well, there you go. The chef is still cooking, so be excited for that.
Mhm.
We've got one from SWAT Cats 22. Do Nazer and Reed get more character development?
Yes.
There you go.
Yes, all of the characters gonna get a bit more development. We're trying to raise the cast that wasn't given enough time. We want to. That's the thing. The additional chapters that I'm planning to do are like in betweens, like fluff content that allows to explore more other characters that are not as prominent in the game. So it's it's gonna be more equal time when it comes to that. So not all focus is gonna go to Anon in Fang. It's gonna be more interesting like that. So every character will be more developed and have a more interesting dynamic.
I'm pretty confident in saying that of the additional chapters we've done, not a single one features Fang at all.
Fuck,
Interesting.
yeah.
Well,
That's
there is
pretty
one,
badass.
but it's not direct. So Fang texts Anon one of them.
You'll love
For
to
good
see it.
reason. Thankfully, that will be a plot point for later.
Yeah, no spoilies. No
Mhm.
spoilies, please. All right, we've got one from Callard22. Honest question. Are you adding more choreography to the scenes or leaving it mostly the same?
Generally, the focus on the choreography will be, again, with the voice acting doing a lot of the heavy lifting for the emotional reads on characters and that the narrative text being what it is. I'm less concerned about redoing old choreography as I am having to make original choreography for all the new chapters we've made.
Right. Okay. Perfect.
You know, Jake, I can't help but notice you skipped over one question.
I did. My bad. Where? What?
Do y'all know Carr from Garin 47? I kind of feel like I need to get this
oh
one
my
out
God.
there.
Would you
because-
shut the fuck up?
No.
I literally see him on your fucking shelf.
Yeah,
right there.
yeah.
Of course I know Car. Car is the best boy, Basilius creature.
Fuck yeah! Fucking
Oh
Roach
my
was like he wanted to kill it like last time, I think. And that pissed me off so bad.
Oh,
I don't know what it is, but its smug aura mocks me.
He's great.
He-
I'll show you some clips of him.
He
Boy.
is a little guy and he is your friend.
the Garn,
Yes,
the Garn verse expands.
He's our little friend. I love him.
All right.
Alright,
Well,
that
I've seen
sates me.
about 4 of
Backflip.
these different questions. Well, huh? What? Are we still talking about something?
No, I said backflip.
Backflip. Right.
Backflip?
Yes. I've seen about 4 of these different types of questions, so I'm just gonna bundle them all up into one, and then nobody ask about it anymore. Lewd CGs? Question mark.
Maybe.
Yes.
Maybe.
Alternatively, I have a guy for it.
Yes, we actually have. Let's say, yeah, there's gonna be additional loot CGs. Which of the characters we're not gonna see, but there's gonna be some. So
Alright.
get your cocks already, Gooners.
Shut
Yes,
the fuck up, Alex.
Pussy
No,
posting?
I'm not. That's what we want to hear. I know them. That's
Alright.
what we're here for. So I'm gonna just spill it straight.
Listen, man.
What?
We'll see what happens.
Good answer.
Uh,
All right, let's see. I'm trying to gather my thoughts after that shit fest. Let's see. So I have to skip over about 4 lewd CG questions, which is why I just bundled them all together.
Mm-hmm.
Got one from Iron Will here. Oh yeah, Iron Will here. What were you most excited / proud adding to the base game story?
Pride isn't really something I feel just from concepting and putting into practice. I would say my pride more so comes from the fact that I am in a position where I get to take a lot of ideas I had and questions I had when I first played the game and put them into practice. And being surrounded by other people who also write were enthusiastic about the answers I had to certain questions and applying them to the game as it was. So there are multiple new chapters, multiple new scenes, multiple new locations and situations and things that happen.
And you love them all.
I would say the thing that makes me the most proud, or the thing that I'm the most excited about, is because Snoot and Wani take place in the same localized region in approximately the same span of time, there is still room and wiggle room for things to be inserted that kind of give more flavor to the world at large that we don't get to explore.
Ooh, that kind of makes me contemplate a question of my own. Are there going to be any Wani references in Snoot Game Encore?
I don't have, like, as far as the writing team goes, we don't have any intention to do so, but I wouldn't put it past some of the other teams to have minor cameos or references.
Mm-hmm.
That's very fun. We're both Wani heads here, so we love Snoot.
Love my
but
gator wife.
Wani. We were brought in on Wani, and we did play Snoot, but
E3 Wani fucking broke my ass. All right, that's all I got
sure
to
did.
say.
He sobbed on stream.
I muted.
Yeah, shut up. Let's see.
That's why I'm not playing One still, because I don't want. Because last time I finished Snoot, I had 1 week
Depression
of
fit.
emotional damage, so I don't want to have another one. Not now. I'm too preoccupied.
That's fair.
You want to show?
Yeah.
I would say show them the pan art, but I don't want to be have vitriol slung at me.
Well, if you share me the pan art, I'll show it on stream, brother.
Fuck you. All right, whatever. We're evil maxing today.
You know, I'm not above showing stuff. Didn't I show the fucking Tiffany art on stream?
Don't show that to them.
What? Oh, is that your shame?
Man,
I don't have shame. That was beat out of me.
Still needs to get beat out of fucking Jake, I guess.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah.
You know what? I don't care. It was the thumbnail on the stream for like a solid hour before I noticed it.
Good stuff. Fucking
care.
yeah.
I'll ask another question while you
Why
get that
is
on
this so
screen.
big?
Because it's.
Why is it 300%? All right, there we go.
I don't know. Let's see. I'm distracted. Oh, hey, here's a question from Reed. Can either of you imagine the apple?
What? Yeah.
It is full color and rotating.
Yes.
Unfortunately, it's not exactly photorealistic. It's more like a 4 on the scale of 5 to 1.
All right.
Same.
All right.
Exactly.
El Humo.
Shut the fuck up!
Wait, you cannot rotate the apple in your head. Laugh and point and laugh.
I got like a 1, maybe
dude's
a
an
2 on a
NPC.
good, like a 2 on a good day, man. Leave me alone.
This dude has issues conceptualizing objects.
Point and laugh.
Mhm.
I'm gonna fucking sit over here and fucking stew now.
No, you still got to do the thing, boys.
Yeah, well, I can stew before I do it, you piece of shit.
He's method acting. He's getting into character.
Yeah, man. Just use the stew to do the thing. Easy.
Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you.
You couldn't afford me, honey.
Oh my.
Are you sure about that?
Yes.
Okay, I'll believe you.
I already tried. Believe me.
Let's see. I'm completely fucking off track.
While
here.
you're looking, I got one on the Twitch side here.
Please help me. Save me.
Are we going to do all the endings to get the epilogue?
The epilogue being the Rainbow chapter?
I would assume so, yes.
Well, yeah. We're not gonna change the base game.
Yeah. I mean, I figured, but might as well ask just because.
Yeah.
It'll likely still be gated behind the bonus chapters, but
Hmm.
Yeah. Because I think they were a little Wani brand on that one. Because
Yeah.
Yeah. But let's see. Here's one from Flippo Possum. Would Anon have his voices change in other endings, or would it stay the same?
We actually thought
I
about
would
that.
say
We're
yes.
still contemplating on that idea.
Interesting.
it'd be worthy. It's one of the ideas we were throwing around and we're kind of into. It's just a question of how it's going to play out.
Well, there you go. Let's see. We've got one from Lassiter, good old Lassie. The E2 ending was purposely left short to keep the tone. Will you keep it like that?
Oh boy, that's too far gone. Like again, let me put it straight. So right now, all our focus is on the demo. When it's gonna come to that part of the game, it's gonna be far down the line. We're writing some stuff for the future, but we still didn't get to the endings.
I'm going to say I don't know, and not meaning like I have plans for that. I mean I straight up don't know. We haven't gone that far yet.
Okay, so then this question regarding the school reunion will still make an appearance. You don't know either.
That is one of the things I have thought about.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
So I thought about it, but I still don't know. Got it.
Stella?
Yeah, Stella at the
We
school
don't know,
reunion.
yeah.
I'm assuming the next question asked by Iggy is more Stella in general. Yes, that has been answered. Everybody is getting more in general. Safe to say. Right?
What?
What?
Ask
All
a
right.
question?
If you're serving cunt and I'm serving cunt, who's doing the interview?
He asked, will there be more Stella in general?
In general. Yes.
Yes. That's sorry. Anyway, let's see. Next question. Any more questions? What?
Yeah, let's do that fucking car being cast by AI voice. I'm just gonna repeatedly say yes, yes, or something like this.
It's fair enough.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I don't really see any more questions, so I think it's time for streamer to nut up and do the thing voice.
Wait. There is one question that I would like to voice because it was asked by a really specific content that I like. Where was it? Got a question. Why is the music so mid? One of your music guys should just leave after the demo comes out. That's, by the way, our main music guy. That's what he asked. He likes to hate himself.
Oh yeah.
Hello,
there you go.
Emo. Your music is good. Please don't hate yourself.
Yeah, your music's good.
Okay. Look, I got one more question on the Twitch side, and then you guys will get your fucking monkey dancing. It was mentioned that the Persona series had an inspiration for the updated UI. Has there been any other major influences that affected other changes in Encore?
Indigo Prophecy?
No. Wow.
120 Days of Sodom. But that's on the development side.
In truth, all the art direction comes from our art director, and it's some crossover between the coders and the artists for doing the UI. It's not really my place to say. I'm sure there are other influences that bled into it, but all I can say is for the things I'm covering, and what I'm covering is mostly just, again, community-based and expectations for the story. As far as influences for the writing, no, it's mostly just Snoot. Influences for the voice directing, again, just Snoot. I just say Indigo Prophecy because, you know, if you know, you know.
It's funny. But there actually is one more question before we make the streamer clap his cymbals and dance. Elindris 1011. How are you going to separate Anon's mumbling from his inner thoughts if you were going to differentiate that at all?
I will return that question to you with another question. How do you differentiate someone's mumbling from their internal thoughts?
We'll probably, you know, what, I'm just going to let that one. I'm going to let that one float in the air for the audience to think about.
See, mumbling.
Okay. Yeah, that's mumbling, all right.
Yeah.
All right, streamer, do your thing.
Ah, fuck you. All right, fine.
Wait, give him
What?
a line to read.
No, I got something in mind. Don't give me a line. Dude, if you say give him a line to read, they're gonna be like, oh, this is our chance. Here we
Yeah,
go.
That'll be funny.
No, no.
You don't want the encore leads to make you fucking do a little symbol
Yes.
clap?
Fucking
Say nice cock cannon, please.
Oh
Let's
my.
go.
Yeah, baby!
blow my fucking head off. Look, I'll get nice cock Anon. That's the one you want. All right, give me a sec. Let me fucking
Wow,
get into
Anon,
the voice.
Nice cock.
Let me warm up with this first, okay?
Yeah, you gotta get his throat ready.
I'm gonna add the boing sound after that.
Sure, man. Go for it.
Yeah.
All right. Fucking hell. Hey, dweeb. Can you give me my dino nuggies? I'm gonna kick your ass, Anon. Anon. Nice cock. Impressive girth. The balls could use a little work, but we can work on that.
For free?
There.
Amazing, thank you.
Are you-
My
are you-
day, my day has been completed. I'm so
Hey,
happy.
that was pretty good.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh my god. Hermit crab, no!
Did he do the thing?
Hermit crab, yes.
Do I want to
He
look
said
at the
it's
chat?
everywhere.
Oh!
Kill!
There you go.
Alright. Nice.
What are we fucking doing now, man? My brain's hard fried after that.
I don't know,
Well, I
man.
personally am gonna use this clip, add some sound effects, and post it. But
Oh, there you go, Humo.
Fucking
I'm
Christ.
kidding. I'm kidding.
You're gonna be
No,
famous.
Dude,
Yeah.
this is all streamed. There's already people out there who are gonna unironically use that clip for some stupid shit. I just get used to it at this point.
That was Cass, not me. I can't.
That
was-
Cass, yeah, Cass can do a snake. Still surprised.
I'm not cool enough for that.
The
I can
brain
only-
trauma really isn't worth it, but everything else is great.
Yeah, I'm not that good. I can only do stupid, retarded voices.
Do the postal guy
Same.
now.
Me?
Yeah.
Hey, dude.
Oh God, you can't put me on a spot like that.
Oh, weird how that works, isn't it?
Oh,
Would you
Fuck
like
you.
to sign my petition to make whiny congressmen play video games about dinosaur women?
This can't be good for me, but I feel great.
That was good.
Kept you waiting, huh?
Oh boy.
I always
No,
keep
I-
some stupid characters in my back pocket. It's great.
yeah. I just do like shitty smiling friends' voices.
Yeah, you and me both do that shit though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
One of the things that we like to do is I'd still like to get the team on it, and I'm still formulating it, but we get some of the voice actors into a voice channel, and we voice over Monster Prom, Monster Camp.
That would
It's
be
just
a
so
good time.
cool.
Yeah, it is.
I still need to play
Yeah.
fucking Monster Prom 2 and 3. I got through 1, but I just never got around to the other ones, and I really want to fucking play it.
Every time I play Monster Prom, I choose the long route, and after that, I'm so fucking spent. Like, just voicing for 2 hours, it just, ugh.
Yeah.
Especially if you get
Right.
cucked out of your ending because you made one wrong
Also
choice.
that, you just waste time
Yep.
after that. But I already know all the everything I need to do to fuck the Zoe, so I just do that every time. So,
I'm sorry. Are you a Zoe appreciator?
of course.
Oh
know
fuck
what
yeah,
the fuck.
brother.
I don't know what the fuck y'all are talking about.
Listen, man, remember what I said about the characters. They all got their something good.
Mm-hmm.
Aside the one voiced by Aaron Hansen. That one's a bit one-dimensional to me.
Oh, you know, Ego Raptor indeed.
Man,
But
Mhm.
voicing shit for 2 hours is pretty bad, but like, man, I'll tell you what. Whenever I do like a fucking mod jam night, that's like 8 hours straight of me just fucking, and like
Suffering.
they'll throw like every character in the book, and I gotta like fucking look through my like rolling list to be like, okay, wait, which one do I do now? Okay, this one.
Just keep it on the fly. If something's funny, do it.
Yeah.
Yep.
at this point, I only write my fan fiction so I can hear Mr. Streamer do funny voices.
Yeah.
When people were playing
double date, people asked me to play Nacer and use my Russian accent to play them. That was imagine Nacer saying "bussy" in a Russian accent. That was the best.
Can you
Oh.
give
He's
us a
a-
demonstration?
The the accent comes out when he's drunk.
No, really, I can talk with a Russian accent when I want. It's not really that hard. I just gotta drop my normal English accent and then I talk more of a Russian time. So here we go, bussy.
That's really good.
Nice.
Bussy.
Bursi.
Man. Okay.
So
Are you-
there's that.
Are you guys familiar with 500 is 500?
Oh, fuck right.
$500 is $500, man.
Certainly
Oh,
was.
Is that a yes or a no?
Listen, all I'm saying is I'm not gay with $20 motherfuckers, when I pull out 500.
All right,
Yep.
well,
That happened at one point. That was
nothing happened.
fun.
Nothing happened on the 17th.
I have no idea what you're talking about. That's probably epic, so I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, nothing happened on the 17th of May.
Oh boy.
What year?
Current.
Yeah, I don't know where I was
Well-
gonna go with that. I just, it felt like important lore. and
I don't
just-
know why, you mongoloid. It was not important lore.
I'm talking about Bussy, all right? Like fucking. That's where my brain goes. Leave me alone.
You want to talk about 200 is 200 while you're at it?
We already
We already
did.
We already did, but they don't
You
know what the
already
hell.
did.
We don't know what the hell. They don't know what the hell it's about.
You already said it's like Mia Snuff.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Me and Stella Snuff for
Yeah.
100. So the 500 is probably someone people really care about.
Oh, that's
yeah.
No, the 500
No,
is
500.
fucking.
None. Thank God, none of us have anything to do with.
Yeah, just for context, 500 is 500 was a fic that people really wanted me to fucking read, and it's Naomi pays Anon $500 to fuck Nazar while she watches. So that was an interesting one to kind
Yeah,
of figure out.
Bum
Yeah.
monkey getting paid to do what she's not polite enough to. Damn.
Oh, nice. The moment I dropped my Russian accent, people are starting asking questions in Russian. Fuck, what did I do? I'm sorry.
Oh boy. Well, I mean, are we just gonna keep devolving the talk into like bussy talk, or are we doing something productive
I mean,
now?
we could wrap it up. We're at the 2.5 hour mark. I mean, at this point, it kind of usually devolves into just whatever the fuck. If you guys want to go ahead and wrap it up, we can do that, or we can just shoot the shit for a little bit. I mean,
I know
up
you're
to
both
you
very
entirely.
busy individuals, so.
So,
At the moment, that's really, I kind of freed up my schedule for the stream. Also, I gotta continuously cleaning up my house after I got disinfected from fleas.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be fun. But yeah, as you wish, so to say.
Fun.
I'm not sure
Fun.
if Cass is occupied after that. So.
No, I'm good for it until you guys are done with me. Then
All right.
I'm up to some stuff.
Well, I mean, at this point, we're literally just. Unless somebody keeps the conversation going, I'm just going to sit here like an autist and not say anything. So. What?
you're usually so full of stuff to just say off the
Man,
like.
look,
What?
I told you I was gonna keep it low key today, and I wasn't being fucking. I wasn't joking, man.
Burn your unhinged card. You say you always have like one a day. Go ahead and burn it now. Why
What
not?
the fuck you want me to say?
I don't know. Something crazy.
I don't, brother. I turned it off for today. All right, look, I was trying to be nice, a nice man.
Motherfucker, you. What do you mean, a nice man?
I
We
don't know, you wanna show them the
literally.
biting art.
Yeah, I'll show them that.
Put it
Go
up
ahead
on
and
screen again. Fuck it, it's already. I don't care.
Can you send it to me again?
It's in fucking your DMs. Just scroll up, you freak.
What do you mean?
Mom, Dad, please, you're scaring me.
Fuck it. Since you're such a lazy bitch, I'll post it again.
Since I'm such a lazy brother, do you know how many things I'm dancing right now to keep this fucking stream going? Fuck you.
Yeah. Whatever. Cry harder.
Oh my god, I hate this dude. Why is he my fucking
Welcome to
co-host?
Humo's Creative Spotlight.
Yeah, fucking the creativity is rage, believe it or not.
Yeah.
Spike
Yeah.
is
There you go.
powerful.
Enjoy. Haha. Wait, I swear to God, if this is the thumbnail again.
No,
Amazing.
my battery is critical. I'll fucking charge that later. Yeah,
Can you full screen that?
oh yeah, sure, fucking
And on the thumbnail version?
I can get this like nice and big
can't-
here. There we go.
Oh Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that's
What?
that's one of the characters from the Mimi project for those unaware. And
Yeah.
Jake,
Is Roach in the chat? Is he seething right now? Currently,
I
he does not.
don't know.
He does not
Damn,
like this
how'd
picture.
that get on the Boru?
What? Oh my God! Don't say that.
And of course, Bon is fucking sitting there rolling about this.
Look, dog. I didn't ask for this. It was just given to me, and I will accept it gratefully.
let me quickly ask a question. So, Psych, for you, we added cheater fingers because it wasn't a game. We answered that before. Also, Radical Guardian, no release date. Is going to be done where it's going to be done. Sorry. That's it.
Well, everyone's distracted. Get it off the screen.
There, it's off the screen. Shut up.
No, I kind of like it. It's a work of art. It's beautiful.
It is. Bon is a very good
Listen,
artist, and we love him.
Sometimes you just need a bad bitch to remind you of your worth. Whip it out, dictate.
Yeah.
Look, man, I know I am what I am, and I can't change that.
He also gets nice fucking schizo art for himself.
Oh, of course.
Need to get me art of a bad bitch ruining my life for real.
Lassiter says Jake just likes to talk about himself. We kind of got used to it. No, people like talking about me. I don't know why. I'm not interesting.
Wait, Jake, have you shilled Punch Drunk yet? Don't you do that
No,
like
I
on every
haven't.
single one of these?
No, that's why I have not shield punch drunk, and I don't want to right now because I said I was being nice.
But it's funnier to keep with how things go. You know what I mean?
Is it? Is that
Why
like the
break?
bit
Why
now?
break tradition?
What if I want to break kayfabe once in a while, huh?
Hey guys, go read Punch Drunk Gator by Jake Parade. It's a great fic. Or you could watch me
All right.
read it. Haha.
Let's do it live.
Oh
Well,
boy.
he does it live already.
Yeah.
What you want to?
Amazing.
What you want to bust a chapter out of Punch Drunk right now on the fucking no?
Let's see here.
Nah.
Yeah, go ahead. Give me ideas.
Oh my
no,
god.
no.
No, keep the conversation going for just a couple more seconds.
Oh my god! I
Which
swear to God.
chapter did I leave off?
There is no God.
Lassiter is in the
Gone
chat
Bud.
saying Jake being Jake as if I'm responsible for any of this right now.
I'm just along for the ride. You're having me here, and I'm chilling.
Here we go.
Yeah.
I mean,
Regretfully chilling. Oh no.
Chapter 7.
oh my god. I just feel like a friend that came over to our friend's house and I see their parents fighting, so I'm just petting the dog.
I'm
just there.
I'm gonna leave. I will. I'll walk out.
Chill your shit, brother. I'm not gonna get you like that.
Also, I'm gonna time Hilly Trail out because they just said "come drunk gator."
Yeah, that tracks for
All
him.
right, this is devolving sufficiently.
Dude, I
Yeah.
told you it's just fucking, there's no structure after this point. It's just us shooting the shit. I think with Roach, we sat here for like half an hour and it was just like unhinged thing after unhinged thing.
Yeah, that was when I was like at my drunkest, I think.
I still don't know why you
Amazing.
busted open that fucking whiskey, like middle of the like interview unprompted.
Man, I was just tweaking that day. I don't know what to tell you, brother.
Ugh.
Amazing.
But okay, how it's only been like 5 minutes. Jesus Christ, why does it feel like an eternity?
I think maybe this is the sign
Yeah,
from God that we should
I
wrap
was, I was
Yeah.
about to say probably good to go ahead and just close up shop here. Fuck. What are you laughing about now? Did someone say something?
up. Nothing, man. I'm just fucking reeling to myself. This is me laughing at myself right now.
All right, man. Well, boys, we were more than happy to have you on. We're glad that you were able to talk about the project. I think everybody in the chat was also happy to be able to get some questions in and really get to know some more about this project. So I hope that we have been at least acceptable hosts here, and that you've had a good time.
Start.
Yeah, well,
Nah, that was fucking great. I love it.
yeah.
Thank you for having us here.
And as always, you guys can check out the Snoot Game Encore's Twitter or the YouTube for updates and stuff. And just follow the project. When it drops, go give it some love and support. And yeah.
Before we end off, I do have one more question because I've seen it asked a couple times in chat. If you are looking for new members on your team, where could somebody go to ask for that? Not asking for me, it was a member in chat.
You can write to us on Twitter, send us an email, or you can technically. Fuck. I don't want to reveal my Discord. I'm gonna fill out so many.
Send them our PR manager's Discord.
Oh my god,
That
that's
sounds
mean.
evil,
Yeah.
and I don't recommend it.
Okay, just write to us on Twitter if you don't have a Twitter account. Just guess tag me.
Write us an email, or we're in the server for
Yeah,
Humo,
yeah,
so
we're-
you can just bug us there if you'd like.
Yeah,
Yeah,
come
but
join the server.
we're gonna hang around in that server, so just bug around us there. If you wanna in the this guy's server Humonotus. So
it's,
gonna be
it's
there.
It's a pretty good server.
Yeah, as soon as you get past all like the Mia posters and shit, you should be fine.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll be live again with another creator spotlight next week on Friday at the usual time around 10:30 p.m. EST, and we're looking to be having Wolf Serenity on to talk about Megalomania. So look forward to that, everybody. But
Yippee!
yeah. Until I see you guys for the next stream, I hope everybody who's lurking or watching actively and chatting in chat, you have a good rest of your day, night, evening, whatever time it is for you.
Later on, folks.
Later.
Have a good one. До свидания.